What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's going well, doing strong. It's your boy Sports PSP. Hope everyone's enjoying a fantastic day, Friday night, folks. As you all know, Sports PSP podcast, it's a podcast in which your boy Sports PSP, as well as the rest of the panel, whether from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, whatever the case may be, will hop on the podcast and we'll discuss some things regarding the NFL, NBA, and maybe some things outside of sports, because I'm always fascinated to talk about other things besides sports, even though I'm Sports PSP. But again, folks, it's my podcast. And look, I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about, and we're going to go from there. Um, Before I let the panel on the podcast, I want to talk about Zion Williamson. He made an appearance. This is his first public appearance since the whole about Gilbert Arenas asked Zion a question, and the question was, "At your age, is it hard to diet?" And Gilbert Arenas asked Zion to be honest, and I'm reading the exact quote from Zion. "Since it's you, I'll be real. That shit's hard. It's hard, man. Like, you're 2022, got a lot of money. It feels I'm at a point right now where, because of certain things, I'm putting back wisdom around me, putting people around me with wisdom, put me on game to certain things, and just go from there." Zion Williamson is about 22, 23 years old. Last year, only played 29 games due to injury, but had 26 points, averaged around 26 points, 7 rebounds, 4.5 assists for the New Orleans Pelicans. The problem with Zion Williamson throughout his career has been injuries. And plus, I was watching Dreamers Pro. Go check out the Dreamers Pro podcast with Charles Sebastian. He read an article from Rick Bucher in which Zion Williamson is not interested in working on his floater game or his pull-up game. And I got concerns about Zion Williamson, folks, not his talent or production. When healthy, Zion Williamson, when he's healthy, he's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, if you look at Zion Williamson's numbers, these others right here, let me see if I can. Yeah, there you go. If you look at Zion Williamson's career so far, only 4 years. He's made 2 NBA All-Stars, career averages of 25.8 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game on 60.8% field goal percentage. However, in 4 seasons, he's only played 114 games in his career. Zion Williamson, like I said, he played only 29 games last season. 2021-2022 season, didn't even play. And plus, part of the reason, and I've said it before, part of the reason with Zion Williamson and why he's accumulated all these injuries is in large part because of his weight. I did like the fact that Zion Williamson was honest, brutally honest about his diet and how it's a struggle for him, because clearly we could see that based on his weight. Just looking at the photos and videos of him on the podcast with Gilbert Arenas, he doesn't look like he's in shape, folks. He doesn't look like he's in shape. And then he talked about the LeBron blueprint. And I was listening to I Am Athlete's Ashley Nicole Moss. And first and foremost, I think she's great for the game. She's great for female sports journalists and sports media, does a great job, always enlightened to what she has to say. I think Zion Williamson needs to follow the Charles Barkley blueprint, because I think that is the best comparison for Zion Williamson, not LeBron James. Yes, I understand LeBron James because of hype, expectations, athleticism, but Charles Barkley is the best comparison for Zion, because Charles Barkley, before he became the player that he was, had issues with his weight. And the problem with Charles Barkley is that, and what changed his career is, is that he had Moses Malone. He asked Moses, why am I not playing? And Moses Malone, God rest his soul, one of the greatest basketball players who ever played the game, told him, you fat and lazy. And it hurt Chuck, but eventually Chuck took guidance and leadership and mentorship from Moses Malone, lost 50 pounds, and became the player that he was. Charles Barkley's in the Hall of Fame, folks. One of the greatest power forwards in NBA history. And I think if Zion Williamson wants to maximize his potential, because we all know when healthy, he's a force to be reckoned with. Zion's going to have to lose some weight. Zion is going to have to make significant changes in terms of his diet, his fitness, and nutrition. And his weight has been a major concern since coming out of college, because we knew he was a physical specimen at 6'6", 280, 285 pounds. But that's a lot of weight for someone to carry at someone that young. Imagine what he's going to be when he's older. And we've seen Zion at over 300 pounds. And his weight problems are there. If his weight wasn't a problem, why would the Pelicans put a weight clause in his contract to keep his weight and body fat below 295? We've seen Zion at times be over 300, folks. So I think Zion Williamson has to make some serious ass changes when it comes to his nutrition and fitness. And it is hard. The other thing I do agree with Zion, it's hard because where does he play, folks? New Orleans. And if anybody knows New Orleans, trust me, I know. I've been to that food. Sorry, folks, some technical difficulties. But as I was saying regarding Zion Williamson, he admitted to. Yeah, sorry, folks. Still some technical difficulties. But Zion Williamson, when he admitted dieting is hard, when you go to a place like New Orleans, that food, that jambalaya, that gumbo, that shrimp, that etouffee, all the beignets, all the amazing food that is there. I mean, that's hard to say no to, folks. That's like really, really hard to say no to, folks. That food there in New Orleans. Jambalaya, shrimp, gumbo, beignets. So I think Zion Williamson, I get it. I mean, especially when you're young and you're making that amount of money. Money don't change you, folks. It makes you more than what you already are. So if Zion was this way long before, if he had the money, what do you think he's going to be when he has it? Even worse. And that has been the major issue with Zion Williamson throughout his career. I don't know what's going to happen with Zion, but if I'm the Pelicans, considering the issues with his weight, his lack of diet and nutrition and fitness, and the fact that he's only played 114 games in his career, I'm sorry, but if I'm the Pelicans, I have to trade him. Yeah, I did give him that 5-year max, and Zion would have been a damn fool to say no to that max. I'm sorry. There's no way that I can trust Zion Williamson out on that court. There's no way. When healthy, I know he's a force to be reckoned with. I know Zion, when healthy, can be in shape. I know Zion Williamson can bring a lot of excitement to an NBA organization, to a franchise. He is, when healthy, a generational talent. There is no denying that. And when healthy, he can be great. And plus, according to Rick Bucher's report, him not working on his game, him not working on other things, he should work on developing more of a pull-up jump shot and a floater, because that way he doesn't have to take that much punishment attacking the basket. Even though I still want Zion to do that, because that's what separates him from most. Still, you got to add other components to your game if you want to have a long NBA career. I do think Zion needs to work on that. Zion needs to work on that because the more components you add to your game, the better. The better you become as a basketball player, and the better you are at staying available on the court. And Zion needs to work on his nutrition and fitness. He needs a mentor. And I think the perfect mentor for Zion Williamson is Charles Barkley, because he's the type of person that can hold Zion Williamson accountable, that can tell Zion, look, this is what you need to do in order for you to get to where you want to go. And I do believe Charles Barkley is the type of person who is old school and believes in tough love. He does believe in tough love. And I think for Zion, he has to change his diet and nutrition, and he has to get down to 250, 260 for the rest of his career. Otherwise, if he stays at his current weight at 280 or 300, it's over. There's a reason why Zion Williamson has played 114 games in 4 seasons. There's a reason why the Pelicans put a weight clause in his contract to keep his body fat and weight at 295 pounds. Zion has to get to at least 250. And I get dieting is hard for him, like he said, because of the money that he's making. Money don't change you, makes you more than what you already are. So if Zion was this way before the money, what do you think he's going to be after he got his money? And I also understand dieting is hard because he's in a place, like I said, New Orleans, the Big Easy, shrimp, jambalaya, etouffee, beignets, po' boys, lobster, oysters, good food there in New Orleans. It is hard to say no to New Orleans food. That's like saying no to a beautiful, fine ass woman. That's how good the food there is in New Orleans. To say no to that food, that is not an easy thing to do. But if I'm the Pelicans, I got young players on this team. I got Brandon Ingram. I like they got Dyson Daniels. I like Willie Green as the head coach. They have a lot of young potential for this team. And Zion, before the injury, New Orleans, they were in the discussion as one of the top teams in the West until he had the injury. At some point in time, man, if you're New Orleans, you're just going to have to do what you have to do, and you're going to have to trade Zion. You cannot trust him if he is uncommitted to changing his diet, his fitness, and his lifestyle. Zion Williamson is not going to become the player everyone wants and expects him to be unless he makes these changes. It's just that simple. So I'll say it again, folks, because I know I had some technical difficulties. Again, I apologize for that. Zion Williamson must change his diet and nutrition. Zion Williamson must get his weight down to 250. The Pelicans, they should change the weight clause, get him down to 250. Because I don't see Zion Williamson having a 10, 15-year NBA career at his current weight. Sorry, I don't. And with the amount of injuries he's accumulated in his career, I don't see someone that is working hard to be in the best possible shape that they can be. I don't see that with Zion. And I also think Zion needs to have mentors to tell him, look, man, if this is what you're trying to be, if you're trying to be one of the greatest ever, which Zion still has the potential. Now he's what, 22, 23 years old. If Zion wants to be in the discussion for the Hall of Fame, be in the discussion as one of the greatest ever, one of the greatest power forwards ever, he has to make these types of changes with his diet and his fitness and his nutrition. Otherwise, it's done. So folks, I'm gonna put in the StreamYard link in the comment section below. Again, sorry again with the technical difficulties. If you want to add or weigh into the comments about what I'm talking about regarding Zion Williamson and much more, please feel free. I added the StreamYard link on the YouTube. So if y'all want to comment, if y'all want to add on, again, I know I'm having some technical difficulties with my computer and my office. Again, I apologize for that. Basically, if anyone missed what I said, like I said, Zion Williamson, I think the Pelicans should consider trading him because I have major concerns about his commitment to basketball as far as his diet, his fitness, his nutrition. He even admitted that dieting is a struggle for him, especially with the amount of money that he's making. And I also think it's also a struggle considering the city that he plays at, which is New Orleans. And if you know anything about New Orleans, they're known for having good food. Shrimp, po' boys, jambalaya, beignets, red beans and rice, oysters, all that good food. New Orleans is a great city to go to as far as with Mardi Gras, the food, everything else that New Orleans represents. It is a fun, beautiful, wonderful city to go to. No joke. So, let me add in the comment section. Let me add the question in the comment section below. Should Zion Williamson be traded? And if you're the Pelicans, see right here. Yes, so see right here. Should Zion be traded? And if you're the Pelicans, what do you think about getting in return for Zion Williamson? Like, what type of draft picks or players are you going to get in return for Zion? Who are you going to get? Are you going to get like a first? Are you going to get some type of player in order to get Zion? Where do you think is the best landing spot for Zion? Should it be the Portland Trailblazers? Should it be any other team in the Western Conference? I think, and I really thought about this, and I hope my boy Gabe, he comes on the podcast. This is just me, and y'all can say I'm being crazy as hell. The place where I would like Zion Williamson to go to is the Miami Heat. I'll say it and I'll say it again. The team I would like to see Zion Williamson play for is the Miami Heat if he gets traded. Even though it's South Beach and that can be a distraction off the court. Unlike the New Orleans Pelicans organization, the one thing I know about the Miami Heat's organization, they will hold players and everyone accountable. They are a no nonsense organization with Pat Riley, Mickey Arison, Jimmy Butler, Udonis Haslem. Yes, it's South Beach, and Miami is a city to be distracted, just like New Orleans, and some good food there too. But I think this is the best place for him to be held accountable. And in Miami, it's hot. It's hot right now in the summer. One thing it's easy to do in Miami in that hot weather is lose weight. I mean, it is. If you think it's hot as hell, I'm in Jersey right now. If you think it's hot as hell in Jersey, oh man, it's nothing compared to Florida, Arizona, California, Texas in the summertime. I think it would be a best spot for Zion Williamson to get in the best shape that he can be physically and mentally. I think it's great because it could also help him grow and evolve as a player and a person. And more importantly, he can also be held accountable by the people within the Heat organization. So how do y'all feel about that, Gabe? I would love to hear your comments on that. Please hop in. But let me bring in a couple people on the panel. We got Dev and we got Leaf, man. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up? What's up?
Yo, what's good, bro?
You good, Lee?
Leaf,
Yeah, I'm straight.
All right, man. Dev, I'm gonna let you go first because I'm gonna give Leaf a little bit of time. Did you check out Zion on the Gilbert Arenas podcast, in which he admitted that dieting is a struggle, especially with the amount of money that he's making at his age? And look, I said that Zion, I think it's best that the Pelicans should trade him. And one of the teams I would like to see Zion be traded to is Miami. What's your thoughts about that? And do you think that the Pelicans should trade Zion? And how much of a concern should the Pelicans have with Zion Williamson in terms of his health?
I would say out of this year they should consider trading him because health is a major factor and they need and like you see they're a really good team. You know, they're a good team when they're all fully healthy, but when he's not there, they kind of like go down. I do think, and they also had injury with Brandon Ingram, so I do think the best thing to do is to move on and trade him for some pieces. And I don't think Miami, I don't know how the fit would be. It seems decent, but if I'm the Pelicans, I do like I would like to see him get traded after
Where
this
would you like
season.
to
I want
see
to
him
see
get traded?
probably get some assets from New York. Probably get some assets from send them to Portland to get Dame potentially. Or I'm not sure. Miami's not a bad destination, but then again, I don't know if the Pelicans will take that offer of Hero and them.
I said the only reason why I would consider Miami is because they have structure. They have the people that can hold Zion Williamson accountable. The only concern I have with Zion in Miami is Miami. South Beach is South Beach.
Mm.
But when you have people within the organization like Pat Riley, Mickey Harrison, Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, Udonis Haslam, that can hold Zion Williamson accountable, I think they would, even though there's not much to brag about, they would do a much better job maximizing his potential than New Orleans. Because even though New Orleans, they got some nice pieces in the head coach, Willie Green, but Zion Williamson, each and every year, injured and struggles with his weight. So that's why I say Miami. But Leaf, what do you think about the whole Zion thing? What do you think about him going on Gilbert Arenas podcast, admitting that dieting is a struggle when you're making that much money at his age and much more?
I honestly, bro, like I think he told the truth, but it's really realistically it's up to him to overcome that. Like a lot of the things, and I touched on this in the with the Vic situation. I say with the young players, especially the first overall picks, is that they first adversity is going to be like the toughest to overcome because everything leading up to them being a number one pick is everybody telling them how good they're going to be and what they're going to be in the league. You know what I'm saying? It's been like that realistically since like LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? So because everybody told him how good he was going to be, and don't get me wrong, LeBron probably handled the media pressure and the media attention and all the fanfare better than anybody, better than any number one pick. But I think in the case of Zion, I think it's more of a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? Like just learning now, you're a professional athlete. Therefore, you got kids that's gonna be wearing your jerseys, man. You got fans that's gonna be paying top dollar, come see you, paying a last dollar, come see you. This, that, the dirt. So the thing is, you have to cater to your craft. There's a choice that you have to make, man. Like when you in a profession, like especially when people come to see you and people come pay them tickets to come see you. You gotta make that sacrifice, to be great and devote a certain amount of professionalism to your craft. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that Kobe said in one of his last documentaries on Showtime. He's like, there's a choice that you have to make in terms of professionalism. You know what I'm saying? And bringing that to the game and being great to your craft, because we all know what he's capable of when he's healthy. We all know what he's capable of. I think he's one of the players that I root for when he is healthy. You know what I'm saying? So because I honestly believe that when he's healthy, when he's at a full 100%, nobody could really stop him. You know what I'm saying? So I get your Miami take on things because they got a lot of veterans and they got a lot of no nonsense guys over there that's gonna get him right. But the thing I worried about is like off the court. That's more of his problem, realistically.
Because it's Miami.
Off the court. Yeah, because of Miami and even New Orleans with off the court issues, man. And I don't know if you've seen Mariah Mills was on TMZ the other day, man, and that
Oh
was
yeah, I forgot about that.
oh yeah. So I think
Yeah,
it's
but that's on
mostly
Zion. That's on Zion right there.
yeah. I think the off court distractions could get you the worst. If the thing is
Right.
if the lifestyle don't get you, then the off court distractions definitely will. So I think he has to, like I said, man, your first adversity to overcome is not really going to be more basketball than it is mental. You know what I'm saying? So like it's really a mental thing, but hopefully he can get right. Right now he on my top 3 on my shit list, but hopefully he can get right, bro.
And who's the other top 2? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Oh no, not Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum definitely, for sure, and Damian Lillard.
Oh, okay. Where would you like to see Zion be traded if that happens?
Damn. I don't think I really have a team in mind. If there is some possible way that the San Antonio Spurs could get him, with Pop being over there and the discipline like that he's gonna instill and like his players and everything, I kind of would lean towards that. But I like Miami and just in terms of their culture. But damn, PSP, man, I don't really know, bro. Like I don't think I could really have a team on mine, bro. Like that I could really see him. I don't want him coming to the tri-state area because that's going to screw him.
Leaf, you're kind of lagging a little bit.
I can't really say. Oh, me, my bad, man.
I don't know. I mean,
I was saying. Yeah, no. You go ahead.
Yeah, you said San Antonio. You said San Antonio. You thought about San Antonio with Zion. And look, I would like that because of Popovich, the Spurs culture, the organization. But how are you going to fit him and Wemby?
I think him and Wemby will fit just fine to me personally. Like because Wemby is going to be more perimeter oriented. I mean, in terms of offense, and you could switch him out anywhere. And with him and Zion in pick and roll situations and give and go situations, I think it could work. I mean, with Pop, Pop can make it. Pop is one of those you can make anything. Who can make anything work better than Pop? You know what I'm saying? Like, so Pop, realistically, given like in these next 3 to 5 years, and where Wemby turns out and what Wemby turns out to be, I think adding Zion into that mix, I think it could work, but just scientifically thinking it in my head, man, I don't know, man. I'll probably have to run 2K and see what the hell what the hell he fit.
Dev, before we move on to the Summer League, do you like Zion going to San Antonio?
I think it's cool. I honestly think I'll be good for San Antonio, good for Vic. I don't know how the fit would be though. Next to actually, I think it's a decent trade. I don't know. I don't love it 100% because I don't like the point guard situation in San Antonio. But I think it will be a pretty decent move.
All right. Let's talk about that real quick. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Victor Wembanyama. After 2 games in the Summer League, it's done for him in the Summer League. I mean, his first game, a lot of expectations, a lot of hype. He had 9 points on 2 of 13 shooting from the field, but he did have 8 rebounds, 5 blocks. The second game, he played much better shooting-wise. He had 27 points, 12 rebounds. I think he had 3 blocks. So, Leaf, I'm going to let you go first. What are your thoughts about Victor Wembanyama's second game? And do you think that he and the Spurs made the right decision by shutting down the rest of the Summer League?
Well, the first and the second game indicated what I've been saying all along. I think he would have fitted perfectly in Utah, just based on what he brings already to just based on what he's going to bring already to the league. He would have adjusted much easier, and a lot of the things that he wouldn't have the responsibilities to cover, Utah would have covered it. But the NBA is stupid. as usual. They have no idea what they're doing. They're bad at what they do. And they send him to San Antonio, basically to basically home nurture him, sort of, with the French fan base. Bringing Pop back around for an extra 5 years is going to be kind of the make or break for either him or Pop, because this is kind of going to be one of those things. Either Pop is going to like bow out in the next 5 years gracefully, or this is going to be very ugly, and this is going to be one of those changing of the guard type of things for Pop. Because if you look at the coaches that hold serve in the NBA, this is an era where Pop comes from, that mid 90s, and those coaches that still like it was their way or the highway type of thing. That's where Pop comes from. He's the only one that's left. If you really look around the league, he's the only one that's left. If you look around, it's majority of players league. So if Pop is able to adjust, and he has been able to adjust, and I will say that in terms of going from Tim Duncan, my bad. Going from Tim Duncan to Tony Parker, and in terms of like who runs the offense, I strongly believe that Pop can make the switch, and can help Victor along as good as he can. I strongly believe that Vic has to play his game, just cater to everything that he's already good at. He's already one of the best shot blockers I think I've ever seen. I don't know a player. I don't think I've seen a player that's that tall that can cover that far from the basket, where there's no easy jump shots, there's no easy mid ranges, there's no easy layups. You got to dunk that shit over him. Basically, you got to basically do what Kai Jones did and go over the top of him, like you see in that picture on the right. You know what I'm saying? So you basically got to go over the top of him. So there's no easy anything, and he's a pretty decent rebounder, even though I don't think you have to fight for rebounds these days. But my concern is like his offense. Is he going to get any easy buckets? Getting him easy looks, easy buckets, and making him work less for his buckets. Because if he got to take shimmy, fade away, or go into a KD bag for a bucket, man, that's kind of more the wear and tear of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see how Pop brings them along. I think it's going to turn into shit personally, but it's going to be interesting to see where Pop goes with it. I think he's going to turn into shit. He should have went to Utah. They fucked up.
All right. Dev, what do you say about Victor?
I think he's going to be one of the best players in the league in the future, future coming. I think he's not going to be doing all the dribbling and all that this first season. They're going to have him more off ball like they did in the regular season. I love his defense potential. I think he's going to be a great player in this league. I like him going to San Antonio. I think Popovich and the coaching that they're giving him is going to fit him well. They're going to provide for him the best opportunity to win, to develop potentially, and then San Antonio can rebuild into their winning ways. There's a perfect way to start their rebuild. Now he's got to continue to find pieces to build around Victor.
Okay. Did you have a problem with the Spurs, Dev, shutting down Victor for the Summer League, or do you feel like you've seen enough from him?
No, because they do this to like a lot of top prospects every year. Pretty much, yeah, we've seen enough because we already knew San Antonio they're gonna low manage because they low manage Kawhi, low manage Duncan. They're gonna prepare, and plus it's Summer League, so Summer League is mainly for like the guys that are second rounders, first rounders, they're like developmental guys. Like,
all right. Let's continue on with the Summer League. I've been watching a lot of the Summer League. Brandon Miller, he had like a 26-point performance, showing everyone he was worthy of being the number 2 overall pick. I've been watching a lot of the Houston Rockets. Leaf, actually, Dev, I'm gonna let you go first. Who's been the team that has impressed you so far in the Summer League, whether team or player that has impressed you in the Summer League? Dev, are you there? I think he lost them. But anyway, Leaf, I'm gonna let you go first. Which player or team has impressed you in the Summer League?
Oh man, wow. Shit. I was looking at the Charlotte and Portland game the other night, and that probably brought me back to my early days. That shit was a goddamn dunk fest. Kai Jones, Brandon Miller, Shaden Sharp, they were out there just jumping over folks. Like that's what they were doing. Like pretty much from start to finish, it was competitive. It was up and down action. Really just like mostly seeing what the guys out there can do, like what these young players can do. It's a couple of players I'm impressed with. I think Cam Whitmore is playing with a fire. I don't think I've seen, because we all know he should have went top 10, but not had it not been for that injury. And the fact that he didn't, I think that he got a serious chip on his shoulder, and he's ready to work hard and try to work his way into a rotation on that Houston team. I like Jalen Wilson for our team, for my Nets. He's another hard worker, not settling for jump shots. If you don't have the jump shot, go and attack. Try to get the bucket easy. Brandon Miller, he started off slow. He's coming along. Obviously, Amen Thompson. It's a lot of guys. I will not be surprised if Brandon Miller or Cam Whitmore is really showing out as some of the top players in this draft years down the line, man, because they're playing like they're ready to take off. I think Vic is getting the rest and not necessarily getting the reps. As well as Scoot. I think Scoot had an injury, and I think Amen had an injury. But in terms of Brandon Miller, Cam Whitmore, I will say this to anybody in the chat or anybody that's gonna watch this: do not be surprised if they turn out to be a lot more than what they was expected to be. I will say that, man. So be on the lookout for them.
I mean, Brandon Miller is a number 2 overall pick, and Cam Whitmore was a top 5
Dev,
pick.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was saying that Brandon Miller is a number 2 overall pick.
Yeah, we can hear you, but go ahead, man. Continue.
I was saying Brandon Miller is a number 2 overall pick, and Cam Whitmore was projected to go at top 5. So I don't think people are surprised of them if they'll end up being good players. It's just that I think expectations that people thought Scoot was a better prospect over Brandon Miller and Cam. A lot of people are high on Cam Whitmore. The reason why he fell was due to medical and bad interviews, I guess, and some bad workouts. But I'm not surprised by the play. I'm really high on Amen Thompson. I love the feel. I like both the Thompson twins. Their feel for the game, their defensive potential, their all around game. Anthony Black has impressed me. Keontae George. I like Cam Whitmore too. Only thing with Cam Whitmore, he needs to get that tunnel vision off, because he's a score. He's for sure a score first guy. I feel like he needs to get that tunnel vision out of him. But he's gonna be a great contributor to the Rockets. He's like an athletic Melo almost the way he played.
All right, Dev. All right, that's what's up. Guys, fellas, again, I apologize for the background. I had a photo of Kyler Murray and Victor Wembanyama in the background. Again, that's because of technical difficulties. I just, thank God, I changed the background. But anyway, let's continue on with the NBA, folks. Let's continue on with the NBA. Let's talk about Damian Lillard, man. I know y'all tired of having this conversation about Damian Lillard, where he's going to go. Leaf, what should Portland do at this point?
The Portland Trailblazers shall stand their goddamn ground and let Dame know, yo, listen, we don't have to trade you, because they really don't. They don't have to trade you. Listen, you could sit down, you could rest for the whole season, and we could play these young guys that we got and build in and let your contract run out. You got maybe 1 or 2 more years left on it, and you're gonna be making $62 million next year, the year after this upcoming season. How many teams is willing to pay you $62 million to be a number 2 or a number 1, and it didn't even work over here? So we don't have to trade you. I think Portland is taking a page out of our book, because some other superstar thought he was going to get traded in the offseason after the Rudy Gobert trade over in my city. And he didn't, and he had to wait all the way to the trade deadline, and we got a haul for him. And that's the exact same thing that the Portland Trailblazers should do. Wait until they get a good enough haul for Damian Lillard that they are honestly comfortable with, that they are satisfied with, and that's that. Tell Dame, fuck you, nigga. What you gonna do? Go on the bench?
All right, hold on, leave. Agrarius Williams, he said, appreciate you for the comment, man. I agree that Jalen Wilson will be good for the Nets. Something that'll make Leaf happy. He had another comment. It was regarding what Leaf said about Damian Lillard. You speaking facts, Leaf. Wait for as long as it takes to trade him.
Absolutely. 100%.
So,
appreciate it all.
Dev, I'm sorry, Leaf. You want to continue?
Just to keep saying what I was saying, man. Like Portland, I think they taking a page out of Sean Marks' book and Joe Asai book. Just basically saying, man, hey, fuck you. Where we ain't trading you where you want to go just because you said so. The hell with that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna trade you to where we believe we gonna get better and we could get a right amount of pieces and we could get the right amount of picks, and then that's gonna be that. But listen, as far as his agent putting out, he won't play for no other team but Miami. All the other teams is calling his bluff and basically saying, okay, yo, once the trade come out for him, and then on opening night, we'll see if he don't want to play or he want to play or he don't want to play. We'll see if his agent is speaking the same shit that he been putting in his agent ear or whatever the case may be. So Dame is basically making himself look bad the longer this goes on. That's what that, like, Portland is not making themselves look bad, man. Portland is like, hey, we not trading you until we get something that we like. And this is plain and simple, man. Fuck Dame, by the way.
All right. Well, you heard what Leaf had to say. Dev, what does it say about you, man?
I do agree that it is a bad look on Dame right now, and I do think teams will call for his bluff, and I do think Boston potentially might trade for him because they still haven't gave Jaylen Brown an extension, and I think they're secretly trying to shop Jaylen Brown. That's just a feeling that I have, but this situation with Dame, if I'm Portland, I would have been trading him once I knew I had the number 3 overall pick. I wouldn't have. I don't know why I wouldn't have tried to entertain a rebuilding. It didn't make sense for me, so I would have been trading Damian Lillard. I think Portland kind of put themselves in a situation as well. By committing too long, you got to think about the franchise. Like, hey, it's an endless cycle, and one of us got to break. And I guess Dame broke first, but Portland, you got Scoot. Like, let's move on. Like, obviously, it's you want to get your assets. I think Portland should get the most assets they should possibly could, but I feel like they waited too long to try to trade Dame. Now they're in a little pool.
Here's the thing, Dev. Just one last point. I don't think they ever really wanted to trade Dev. They was comfortable with putting people in the seats because as long as Dev said he wanted to, Dame said he wanted to stay, the fans of Portland and the organization was okay with it. They was like, all right, yo, we built somewhat of a team. And then Ticket TV touched on this. Go all the way back to the Bill Walton years. They built competent teams all the way up to this point. The Drexler years, the Clyde Drexler era, the Rasheed Wallace era. They had a contender then. They just didn't win no championships. They had bad luck. Greg Oden, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Brandon Roy were 55 and 10. 55 and 10 when they played together. They just couldn't stay healthy. So they built the teams through the draft without big time free agents, without all the glitz and the glamour of the Lakers and the Celtics and all these other teams that have been getting free agents. They have been able to build pretty darn good teams for a small market. So my thing on Portland is like they ain't budging on this shit. And they ain't budged in and they ain't budging now. So they good.
And Ticket, he's mentioned this several times. And the reason why he's not letting Dame off the hook is because he said that Dame before wasn't running from the grind. Dame said that he was against chasing rings, ring culture, dynasties. Now all of a sudden you want to be traded. So does this tarnish Damian Lillard's legacy?
I think personally, it tarnishes his character more so than it tarnishes his legacy. It tarnishes his word, and the word that he always stood on for years. Yeah, it tarnishes more of his word and his reputation more than anything else, because now you basically looking at a guy like you was saying all of this to Pat Bev and Paul George about them running from the grind, jumping from team to team, this, that, and the third, knowing that it was going to be some day that you was going to want to do the same or had to do the same. And it's your decision and your decision alone. The Portland Trailblazers never wanted to trade you. They never had you on the trading block. For as long as you said you wanted to stay, they've been loyal to your word and to your name and to your family and to their fan base. Because you said it on every podcast that you could say it on. That's been the biggest news going on about you. And now you the one that switched up, not the Portland Trailblazers. You the one that now want to go somewhere else. You the one that now want to go to Miami. Not Portland didn't want to send you nowhere. Portland is not on trial for this. This is all Dame. Dame wanted this. The same way Kevin Durant wanted this shit last year when he saw Rudy Gobert go for 9 assets. 9 assets, bro. And nobody in here thought Rudy Gobert was worth 9 assets. So my thing is like, yo, you basically following suit and thinking that you hold ground as a 33-year-old quote-unquote superstar because you're making a lot of money and you making 50 mil this year and you making 62 million next year. You got to think to yourself, Dame, who the hell want to pay you that other than Portland? That's the big question.
Dev, you got something to say?
Leaf kind of laid it all out there. Yeah, it's a complicated situation. I think at first I was going to like it's not that big deal, but not. I think Dame is doing too much when he said he's gonna be unhappy or go here because he's gonna play him or only go to Miami. I think if he would have said that he only wants to go to Miami, then I feel like this situation wouldn't be as deep as it is. I think he is making it harder on himself and on Portland now.
I think Dame, man. I mean, look, I don't think he would look that bad had he not said what he said about ring culture and chasing rings and all that other stuff. Had he not said that and demanded the trade, I don't know how you feel about it, Leaf. Maybe you would have looked at it differently. But because we're taking Dame at his word, it definitely hurts his character. And it definitely contradicts what he said in the past. So
Absolutely.
So I don't have a problem with what Ticket had to say. And to your point with the Trailblazers, they're going to be fine because if you look at it, as you mentioned, eloquently mentioned, historically, they're known for moving on from the Drexler, Bill Walton days. And then, as you mentioned, Rasheed Wallace, when they had him with Scottie Pippen, Bonzi Wells, Damon Stoudemire, Arvydas Sabonis. The Blazers are still able to have playoff teams. They're still going to compete within the playoffs. So I believe that the Trailblazers will be fine. But I do think it's a little too long now. So now that it's been a little too long, as well as the Blazers, they're probably at this point pissed with Dame. They're like, no, we're not going to give you any more leverage. As you said, we're going to determine now if we see something that we like that we can get in return, that's fine. We'll make the trade. But what are you going to get in return if you're Portland by trading up Damian Lillard? Because you're not going to get a king's ransom for him at this point.
Basically, you're not. And I think Portland kind of knows that. I think their thing, realistically, outside of like assets and the king's ransom that you was talking about, the reality that they really want, picks. That's what they really want. Because listen, if they're trying to build through the future, this is a team that has always drafted well. Always drafted well. You go back to it's just players just got hurt. I give you a fun fact. Michael Jordan got hurt before Sam Bowie did. A lot of people didn't know that, bro. Like, he got hurt before Sam Bowie did. He missed almost the entire season before Sam Bowie ever got hurt. And a lot of people want to look back on that because now it's a positionless league that, you could have drafted Jordan. He eventually played the 1 and eventually played the 3. Obviously, they missed out on that. That's fine. Probably 6 championships. They still scratching their head on. That's just bad luck. But to me, I don't think Portland is really stressing because they know they can't get what they want for Dame. At least not right now. And the thing is, the teams that they want to get something from Dame that they want in return from Dame, they don't want to go there. So the thing is like it's basically, Dame, we don't have to trade you. We don't. Just because you said trade me, we don't have to trade you. We can let you come into the arena, and we can let you get booed by the fans who once loved you, who once adored you, who once a guy was just proud to just see you on the court and proud to see you stand on your word. The same fans that you shot game winners against on OKC and on Houston in the playoffs, and now you saying and now you done basically made your own self out to be the bad guy. You did it all on your own. This wasn't Portland. Portland is not on trial for this. This is all Dame.
Go
ahead, man.
No, that's all good. Love what you had to say. One last thing before we move on to some NFL. By any chance, did you check the SB Awards and did you check LeBron's speech on what he said?
Let's move on, man. Let's move on. You already know how I feel.
Come on, man. I haven't heard what you said. Said about it.
This is I just that last comment talking about if I felt like I cheated the game, if I felt like I ever had to cheat the game, I will walk away. I don't know exactly what he said word for word. Here's the thing, buddy, nigga, listen, you have cheated the game. The game is cheated for you. You the one that they don't officiate you. They don't officiate everybody else like they do you. They let you get away with a whole bunch of shit. And when the thing about that bothers me about all of this is that I say what everybody else is really afraid to say. If you're not like ESPN, if you're not like Fox Sports, prove it. Tell the truth. Dig deep. LeBron is a very great athlete, but he is very mediocre as a basketball player. He always has been. He just carved out a good career because he's able to fill up a stat sheet. Bro, if you go on YouTube and if it's hours and hours of videos breaking down how he gets his stats, breaking down how he cherry picks, breaking down how he gets killed on defense, breaking down how he naps on defense. What time, bro? Isn't that not cheating the game? I feel like I gotta explain it somewhat like I gotta explain it like I'm damn Maya Angelou or some shit, bro. Like realistically, bro. Like I'm sick and tired of this dude, bro. Like, if you don't want LeBron to take over your headlines, stop talking about him. If you don't want LeBron to take over the headlines of your TV shows, ESPN, Fox Sports, stop talking about him. He got swept in 3 different decades. He trashed, bro. Like, we all know this. He trashed because he didn't try to get better. Only thing he worked on is the set 3-point shot.
All right. Let me read you the exact quote that he said. In a statement that resulted in applause from the crowd, James informed the audience that luckily, quote, that day is not today. I'm reading an article from Sports Illustrated's Carl Rasmussen, so I want to make sure I give credit. This is the quote from LeBron. I don't care how many more points or what I can or cannot do on the floor. The real question for me is, can I play without cheating the game? The day I can't give everything on the floor is the day I'll be done. Luckily for you guys, that day is not today. Which you basically said everything that came out of LeBron's mouth was a bunch of bullshit.
All of it, from beginning to end. You know why? Because LeBron James is a liar. He has lied to us time and time again. He has lied to Dev time and time again. He has lied, lie after lie after lie. And my problem, and listen, LeBron James has mustered up a great career. By hook or crook, he has mustered up a great career. But as a basketball player, everything that I know and everything that I watch, everything that I fall in love with, compared to the other greats, he has never been
You
that
liking a little bit,
guy.
Leaf.
Listen, compared to the other greats, compared to the Kobe's, compared to I still don't realistically know how he over Kobe, other than the accolades and other than the career totals. I still don't know how. And that's probably the
You
only
think
thing
Kobe's better than him?
I think Kobe is way better than him. He's way better than him. Kobe got a go-to move, a second move, a third move, a fourth move. Play off the ball, play within the sets, play within the triangle system, play without the triangle system. He knows how to do all of that. LeBron is high pick and roll, take 2 steps back, get a run and start, bro. Like, let me get a little dude on me and let me just bowl Steph Curry over. They ain't gonna call it. This is what he does. If it's footage on YouTube breaking down LeBron's game, and everybody is still like, "Oh, LeBron is the GOAT because of career totals and this, that, and the third, and longevity." This is what you value now, because he did it and nobody else did, and he was able to play 21 years and nap on defense and cherry pick and get all of these fast break points, and nobody else did. He's all of something greater than this guy, and all of these dudes that played within a system and played within sets, played with coaches that actually coached them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's these different things. It's the little things. I'm not going to career totals. I'm not going to that, because after his rookie year, that's when the league started opening shit up, and that's when he started going ballistic on his stat sheet. His rookie year, he was only averaging 20 points off of 41% shooting. That's pretty good for an 18-year-old, right? The very next year,
I also thought Carmelo should have won Rookie of the Year.
A lot of people did. And then the very next year, he goes from 20 points to magically 28, 29 points a game. Nothing changed. You know how nothing changed? The only thing that changed was Malice in the Palace. Because after that, there's no more Ben Wallace's. There's no more Ron Artest. There's no more guys to keep LeBron out of the paint. So they changed the rules. They moved. Now they added transition fouls. Now they added all of this. And now the game is more open. If you don't have to take my word for it, just go look at Steve Nash's 2 MVPs during that time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a lot of things that people got to look for, and they got to uncover and see how it's happening while it's happening. You get what I'm saying, man? But I want to go on to the next topic. I don't want to rant about this.
Before we move on to the next topic, Dev, did you watch the ESPYs a little bit? Did you catch what LeBron had to say in his speech? If you haven't heard the quote, this is what he said regarding retirement and stuff. I don't care how many more points or what I can or cannot do on the floor. The real question for me is, can I play without cheating the game? The day I can't give everything on the floor is the day I'll be done. Luckily for you guys, that day is not today. So, Dev, what are your thoughts about what LeBron had to say? And do you agree or disagree with what Leaf had to say about LeBron cheating the game?
I knew LeBron wasn't going to retire because I think it's emotional because, like, it was a hard-fought loss. He got swept. So, like, he just kind of spoke in a moment, and we all do that sometimes. We're not mad at LeBron because, like, I said some things in the moment. You probably said some things in the moment. You go back and think about it. I don't really mean that. It's happened in the moment. But no, I don't think LeBron has cheated the game. I feel like he's always been committed to the basketball. For the last couple of years, he's always worked out, and so I want to say he's on PEDs or cheated the game. I don't think there's been no athlete ever. I don't think there's been no athlete that cheated the game. I feel like he's continue on lead on, like he had to turn the camera on, and what else? Yeah, I think LeBron's gonna, like I said, LeBron said he's gonna play with his son. Bronny's coming up. I feel like once Bronny's here, he'll be done. And like I said, there's really nothing more LeBron needs to accomplish because he's got all the records, got championships, got MVPs. It's really his legacy's already been solidified. I think he's just doing it so he can play with his son. That's all I believe, and that's really it. That's my take on it.
Lee, if you want to comment, or do you want to move on?
I think you know what? I think I displayed how pissed off I was about this and about how the league is run. It's just I gotta ignore the fact that I've been watching it too long, and I've been watching what so many other players had to endure outside of LeBron James. Man, like I'll give you a perfect example. Well, the day that I really fell in love with this game, that was 1997, Sixers versus Bulls, and AI snatched the shit out of Jordan with the move with the The very next year, they said that move was illegal. So I already knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's certain people that can do certain things. You get what I'm saying? And there's certain people that cannot do certain things. AI wasn't part of the league's plan. LeBron James was. Kobe was part of the league plan all the way up until the Denver incident, because we all agree he would have had more MVPs had it not been for Denver. You get what I'm saying? It's these little things that people got to remember that, you know, like that caters into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up, my camera kind of foggy. But
I put you on solo because I want you to get it off your chest.
Yeah. So like, I think listen, there's nothing really I could say at this point, man. Like the only thing that'll come out is if the PED situation with LeBron or whatever, and whatever that dude was, because I think that's the reason why he really said what he said. Yo, if I cheated the game, if I felt like I needed to cheat the game, this time we walk away. That is, I think he was really addressing that and addressing some other cheating allegations. Him with some chick on whatchamacallit. Some chick said she was waiting for him at the airport. He was waiting for her at the airport. He left at the airport, some garbage like that. But that was like Bad Girls Club, some type ish. But I don't remember what that was. But I don't know, man. Listen, as far as my only problem with him has always been basketball. I keep it at that. As far as the family, he's been that, man. Seeing his family on stage on that, but like, he's a liar. He is a liar. He has lied. There's literally Twitter pics of him lying. So we can at least admit that he's a liar. He lied.
Is he a bigger liar than Aaron Rodgers?
Probably. Because he's played longer. So he's been lying for a long time, bro. Like, and I like how y'all throw Aaron Rodgers up in there. Listen, I'm not mad about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. I've seen this episode of Friends before. And for anybody, I seen the Chill show the other night, and I got some beef with him because he brought Sarah Spain on, and she's a Bears fan as long as fluent. Sarah Spain is like that, by the way. I ain't gonna lie to you. I see why he got why old head got a crush on, but he was talking. He was trying to down talk the Packers, and neither one of those teams has a championship in this millennium. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh well, yeah, whatever. Well, we're gonna get to the football side of things, but I'm done with LeBron James. I'm done with 6, bro. I don't even speak his name no more.
Only one thing I will say with LeBron James regarding the cheating situation. Like, if someone accuses you of PEDs, just say that these allegations against me are false and reckless, and me and my representation, we will handle this matter in court. Like, have we ever heard LeBron even deny the allegations to that?
Never.
No, I'm digressing.
Never, not one time, bro. Like he likes to do. LeBron responds in a way that's silent and subliminal. That's what he does. He knows that at this point in his career that he can control media and control what people talk about as far as sports. Because when he says something, now he knows he's going to get a response. He's like, oh, okay, this is how it's done. This is how it's done. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, so my message is Fox Sports and the ESPN, if you don't want LeBron taking up the topics of your show, ignore him. He is a liar. He lies. So I don't trust him. It's that simple.
Okay. All right. All right. It's just that simple. All right. Let's move on to some NFL, folks. Let's talk about another former number one overall pick that would happen to be one Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck in 2024, he will be eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame because again, he's retired since 2019. You got to go back to 5 years. He retired. He announced his retirement. I think it was either before, during, or after a preseason game against the Chicago Bears. And look at the stats right here. Andrew Luck's body of work. Number one overall pick in 2012, four-time Pro Bowler. 2018, he was the AP Comeback Player of the Year. In 2014, he led the NFL in touchdown passes. As a starter, he is 53 and 33 with a completion percentage of 60.8%, 171 touchdown passes to only 83 interceptions. So, look, Andrew Luck coming out of college, coming out of Stanford, a lot of people, particularly ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr., formerly Todd McShay, so many others said Andrew Luck was the next best thing. He was the best quarterback prospect since John Elway. I think Andrew Luck, I don't believe he will go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame because he hasn't done enough. Um, but I don't really hold that against him. I really hold that against the organization, Jim Irsay, Ryan Grigson. I think Grigson sabotaged the career of Andrew Luck by not surrounding him with an elite offensive line at first. He wanted to surround him with weapons, and then he made bad trades, such as for Trent Richardson, which was a disaster. And I think Grigson and Irsay definitely did a disservice to Andrew Luck, and it's really sad. I really look at Andrew Luck's as an NFL tragedy because Andrew Luck, unfortunately, he's going to be in the discussion of what if Andrew Luck was healthy? What if you surrounded Andrew Luck with talent? What if you gave Andrew Luck all the pieces that he needed in order for him to flourish? I don't believe he will go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame because 4 Pro Bowls. Andrew Luck was never a first team All Pro, never won a league MVP, never been considered the best quarterback, let alone the best player in football like a Patrick Mahomes. So, Dev, I'm going to let you go first. Do you think Andrew Luck should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Unfortunately, not. I do think he was on his way, on his path. He is Hall of Fame talent for sure because he had one of the best rookie years ever. Then he went to the led them to the AFC Championship game, just Brady. Obviously they didn't perform that well, but it was his first playoff run. And then in 2018 he was really good. It's just unfortunate that injuries happened to him, and it affected his whole career because he was one of the best quarterbacks we've seen, and I feel like he will be competing with the elite quarterbacks like the Mahomes, Joe Burrows, and Josh Allen of today, and he was really the next in line. Like he was the bridge quarterback. He was going to be that bridge quarterback from Brady to it was going to be supposed to be like Brady and all those guys, other old guys, him, Cam, and them. Then it was going to be Mahomes, kind of like that. It was supposed to be like that, and RG3, but unfortunately, with RG3, Cam, and Luck, they all got succumbed. They all had succumbed from injury. So I don't. Unfortunately, I think he was on a Hall of Fame path, but with him retiring, I don't think it's enough, in my opinion. I do think he's better than a lot of the quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Like
and
he's better
and
than
definitely currently.
yeah, and currently too. He's better than he's probably You can make an argument he might be the second best quarterback in the league. He's in his prime, his peak. You can make an argument he's the second best quarterback. Like you can make an argument he's the second best quarterback today. But he's easily would be top 10, somewhere in the top 10. Obviously, if Mahomes is, got that number one spot kind of locked down. The only other person you probably put ahead of Mahomes is peak Brady, but even that's a question mark. But I think with Andrew Luck, I agree with everything you said. They didn't build a team good around him. Then he got beat up too many times, and that's one thing I fear about the Bengals. They need to hurry up and give a whole line to Joe Burrow because I think he's been the most sacked quarterback ever since he came to the league. You got to build that O line up, and you got to protect this franchise. So, unfortunately, he is not a Hall of Famer in my books.
All right, Leaf. Do you think Andrew Luck is a Hall of Famer?
Unfortunately, no.
Leaf?
Yeah, y'all get me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
Unfortunately, no. The way he walked off the field, I thought I honestly, that was one of them. I don't think I ever felt for anybody more than I felt for Andrew Luck. Bro, he took an ass whooping, bro. Like we talking about a beating. You talk about, like, in terms of hits that quarterbacks is not supposed to take, that's outlawed out of the game today, and the way that they take hits today, and the way the players is not supposed to take hits today, he took a beating. Everything that you said, everything that y'all guys said was on the money about that franchise not putting the right pieces and not putting the right line around them. I think one of the things, and I talked about this the other day. I was like, yo, what if Peyton Manning would have stayed that 1 year and Andrew Luck would have sat behind him? What if I think to myself, maybe that 1 year would make the difference, because you saw Alex Smith be at quarterback for 1 year and Patrick Mahomes sit behind him. And we see what Patrick Mahomes is today. So for anybody that's gonna watch this, just remember, before Patrick Mahomes before the Patrick Mahomes that we know, Andrew Luck was well on his way trajectory-wise to be a top 3, if not one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game. Right. So, like, I want people to hold on to that, and it's one of the things I held on to, because I think he took a beating. And Dev, you was 100% right in terms of him and RG3 bringing the bridge to from the A-Rods, the Bradys, the Breezes, all the way to the Mahomes and the Josh Allens and everybody that you see today. I think they basically in the mud and had to basically had to swim through quicksand, where Pat Mahomes and a lot of these guys today basically was like scot-free to walk on regular concrete ground with great shoes and everything. That's just my opinion on it. But obviously he didn't play enough. The way I still see him walking out on that field and getting booed, and that's one of those things where I'm like, yo,
yeah,
it's one of those things where, yo, the fans just don't know. The fans just don't know, bro, like what he went through. It's almost the same with RG3. I felt bad then and I feel bad today for what they had to go through. Even Tim Tebow, to a certain extent, I felt bad that these dudes were the sacrificial lambs. And at a point where the NFL didn't mind taking players and dumping them off and taking players and dumping them off. Now you got this past draft, how many quarterbacks was taken in the first round? How many black quarterbacks was taken in the first round?
Yeah, it's Bryce much different Young, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson. Yeah, there were a lot of black quarterbacks that were drafted. And shouts out to that, because, again, for so long, African-American quarterbacks, they've had a stereotype for so long. They can't read defenses. They can't lead. They can't read X's and O's. They're lazy compared to white quarterbacks. All these things that have been said and been perpetuated about them. So, Leaf, you make a great point. Andrew Luck, unfortunately, it's going to be, man, what if, man?
Because I honestly believe, and this is my opinion, this is probably the biggest what if in pro football since Bo Jackson. I strongly believe that. I don't think it's another what if that I could think of, bro, because Barry Sanders, he carved out a Hall of Fame career. All we talking about is what if he won a championship. Emmitt Smith, Dion. If you think of anybody that you want to think of, Randy Moss, Megatron, anybody that you want to think of, anybody. To me, Andrew Luck is the second biggest what if in football outside of Bo Jackson. And that's like, I think he was honestly treated the way he was treated. He was treated almost like a black quarterback. The way he was taking hits, the way he had to take unnecessary hits, it was almost, I never seen nothing more brutal since Donovan McNabb rookie year. And if anybody in here remembers Donovan McNabb rookie year, I want you to take a look at the ass whooping that he took. Not just from in the pocket, not just out of the pocket, not just being a mobile quarterback, not just being a black quarterback, but from the fans of Philly, because they are ruthless. They are very rude. They treated Carson Wentz better than they treated him, and that's real.
Oh yeah,
they are ruthless.
oh yeah. Even Max Kellerman, who no longer works at ESPN, he said, "Man, people they caped up to Carson Wentz because if this were Donovan McNabb,
Well, they
he
don't like him
wouldn't-
now, though.
Yeah, they don't know, but before when Carson Wentz, there were a lot of excuses for Carson Wentz, and Max Kellerman was the only one that held him accountable. And plus, there were other things that Max alluded to, such as Carson Wentz ignoring the play calls. Doug Peterson was calling Carson Wentz not taking responsibility, not handling criticism well. If that was said about Donovan McNabb back then, oh man, it would have been crazy.
Had
But,
it not been for that Super Bowl, and I want to add just one thing, had it not been for that Super Bowl win that year that the Eagles got over Brady, I honestly believe, bro, like the all of the stuff against McNabb that everybody that the now Philly is saying that they sorry. A lot of fans had did this. They sorry for McNabb. They did a thing, an instrument for old Philly players. Players like B-Dog, Westbrook, Troy Vincent. You might remember those names. Like if you play Madden a lot, like those old Philly players. All of those Philly players got praised, including Donovan McNabb, including Michael Vick, who played for them for a couple of years. Notice Carson Wentz had the same injury since he was 7 years old, and he's still in the league, if I'm not mistaken.
No, not right now.
No.
Well, he's not in the roster.
No, he's released.
Washington
okay. Cut
right.
him. Which thank God, thank God, because I can speak as a Commanders fan. No. Let me show you. Let me zoom the layout real quick. Leaf. I'm here to tell you. Let me see if I can get the solo shot right here. I am a Commanders fan. You see this Washington helmet right here? I've been a Washington Commanders fan since 14, 15 years old. The moment that we traded to get Carson Wentz, that was one of the dumbest, idiotic moves we made because it wasn't going to work for him after Indianapolis. Everyone knew once Washington acquired him, as Shaq always says, barbecue chicken. The Cowboys, they didn't fear Carson Wentz. The Eagles didn't fear Carson Wentz. The Giants didn't fear Carson Wentz. So we knew Carson Wentz at that point was done, finito. But back to Andrew Luck. What I will say is with Andrew Luck, he will be in the discussion for what if. Right up there with Bo Jackson, right up there with a lot of other dudes. And it was sabotage by Grigson and Irsay. And had he been with a different organization, Andrew Luck would have been in that discussion as the best quarterback in football.
By far, by far. I agree with you. And I will say this again. I can't think of another what if in the history of NFL football than Bo Jackson.
I got my favorite what if is Warren Moon.
Yeah, because Warren Moon, remember, he had to spend some time in the CFL.
Because he was good when he came in the NFL. If he didn't deal with racism, because I feel like he would have had a way better career if he came in younger.
I respect that, Dev, but also if we're gonna use Warren Moon, we got to use Jim Kelly and Steve Young as well. Yeah. But the thing is, they got Hall of Fame careers. Bo Jackson is not in the Hall of Fame in either baseball or football.
He's not in the Hall of Fame baseball? That's right.
No. Not neither one of those. And you know how strict it is to get in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds still not in.
I'm not I really don't watch baseball. I'm not a baseball head, so I don't.
I'm not a baseball head either, but
you're right.
my small knowledge of baseball. Yes. Barry Bonds got 7 MVPs, and he for 10 straight years was on the ballot and did not get in the Hall of Fame.
That actually is insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Bo Jackson has never been on any ballot to get in any Hall of Fame in pro football or in whatchamacallit.
Hold on, Leaf. You forgot one big if, and I can't believe you of all people never mentioned it, given the fact that you are a Packers fan.
What's that?
Sterling Sharp.
Oh, I know you're talking about Sterling Sharp. Yeah.
Man,
right,
he's a big one too.
Oh, yeah. You know, and I tell you, the game he got hurt, players like Sterling Sharp is one of those players that only the greats of that time can tell you about. Shannon Sharp himself will tell you he wasn't the best in his family.
Yeah, he says it all the time.
It was Sterling Sharp. Deion Sanders, who is the greatest corner, probably the greatest corner we will ever know. He will tell you about Sterling Sharp. So guys that played against him, I don't care who you name, Barry Sanders, anybody from that 90s will tell you how good Sterling Sharp was. But I think when we think of Sterling Sharp, we're thinking of how he did it, how he was as a player. When we think of Andrew Luck, we thinking GOAT type conversation. Had everything going the way it was supposed to go.
Potential GOAT.
I don't know.
I don't know about
yeah.
GOAT, but he may have the chance. But Dev, Andrew Luck coming out of college, he was that dude. I mean, best quarterback prospect since Elway. And he had superstar written all over for him. And my favorite Andrew Luck moment has to be the second playoff game again. And sports talk will kill me. I don't care. The Kansas City Chiefs game. Mm-hmm. They were trailing 38-10 in that game. And Andrew Luck in the first half, he didn't play that well. But then to come back. Yeah, they came back from a 28-point deficit. They came back from a 28-point deficit, and they won that game. Kind of like how Dev's Clemson Tigers, Trevor Lawrence, came back from a 27-point deficit against the Chargers. So I think Andrew Luck had it all. And unfortunately, Grigson sabotaged them. And there were reports about Grigson feeling like he's the smartest man in the room when he's actually not.
Right.
Go ahead, Jeff. What is it? What do you guys say, man?
Oh no, I thought I was lagging because it froze. I was gonna say that the thing with Andrew Luck, his play type, his prospect type fits into any era really. He's mobile enough to he can mobile enough to play in today's era. He's strong enough to play back then. He's tough as nails too because he took a beating for a long time and he just smiled back. So he can play. I feel like he can play in the 90s era, 80s era, to early 2000s, this era of football, and yeah, him. I think it's just kind of unfortunate that and think about it, he didn't even win Rookie of the Year because of how good RG3 was. That those two was like electric.
Oh my god!
Like those two quarterbacks, and RG3 had an arm too. He wasn't just no guy. He could both of them coming out was really good. It's kind of unfortunate that the situations your commanders kind of did them dirty too in a bad situation. And I feel like that unfortunate and luckily these franchises are making are learning from their mistakes now. I can see that both franchises learn from the mistakes, but it's kind of unfortunate how because saw a rivalry between these two. Think about it, imagine a Super Bowl matchup between a prime version of RG3 and Andrew Luck, or we could saw Andrew Luck versus Mahomes Part 2, or I don't know. It's just unfortunate because he was one of the best quarterbacks we have ever seen to come out of college, and to young quarterbacks, he had a lot of potential, and I don't think no one should fault him for retiring because, especially in a sport like the NFL, your body, your mental is way more important than anything else in the game because he wants to be able to walk with his daughter, I don't know if he has a daughter now, walk with his children. Kids, he wants to walk with his children. Anyway, you want to be able to be functioning when you're old, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, plus for the time he played, he was balling. So it's not like he played bad. Every time he stepped on the field, he balled out. So that's one thing I think we should appreciate Andrew Luck.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's kind of crazy. Bro. He's been retired for 4 years now. How many? 4 years now? Since 2018?
I think about 4. Yeah, was it 3-4 years?
It's almost 5 years. He will
it's crazy.
It was that long
4
ago?
years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, actually 5 years now, because in 2024 he will be eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because again, you have to wait to be eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame or any Hall of Fame. You have to wait for 5 years. I don't know why they.
You gotta wait.
Brady's getting in 26. No, not 26. He retired. Brady's gonna go in.
Brady's gonna go in 29. 28.
Okay. 28. Yeah, as soon as 28 hit, and Tom Brady.
Brady is in there. Yeah, for sure. But What was I about to ask? Yeah, like the thing with Andrew Luck, I kind of look at him, Luke Kuechly, who else?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
was
Forgot
it?
about
Luke
Luke, bro. Luke
Kuechly.
Kuechly was a dog. Luke
Yeah,
Kuechly was
Luke
He
different.
was a
Kuechly.
beast.
Who else am I thinking of? What's the kid from Pittsburgh?
Oh, Patrick. What's dude from
Patrick
Pittsburgh?
Willis.
Patrick Willis. Yes, he
Patrick
was.
Willis.
He was on something
Uh,
else. I don't know
who
what he
was
was.
who was the kid from Pittsburgh, man, that had the serious injury?
Ryan
Ryan
Shazier.
Shazier.
Ryan Shazier. I look at
Mhm.
them. I look at those players, man, and I think to myself, I'm like, damn. Could you imagine like 12 years, like at full health, what they could have been? Like, I mean, honestly, I put Andrew Luck up there, and you did mention Sterling Sharp, 2 PSP, man, and I think to
But to
myself,
be fair, Luke Kuechly is still a Hall of Fame. He still had a good career.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. Patrick Willis as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Ryan Shazier, maybe not too much, but
Yeah,
Ryan
who is
Shazier,
shorter?
yeah, his was just shorter. But I think about those players. I could honestly say Andrew Luck is probably the one player that I honestly felt sorry. I'm probably more sympathetic towards the football players because
It's a physical sport.
that's not an easy game to play.
It's a nasty sport.
It's not, and I don't think as the human anatomy is not really built for it the way it was played so many years ago.
Leaf.
It really ain't, bro.
It's not Leaf. It's not. Think about it. You're a grown man running to another grown man for 48
Full
minutes.
speed. Full speed.
And the thing is, and back then they didn't even wear helmets. They didn't wear helmets. That's how crazy it was.
And one of the plays that scared the hell out of me was a college game, and I don't really watch too much college.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Is it Inky?
It was Northwestern versus Iowa, and I guess the kid was running towards the middle, and it was one of them fast collision plays. This kid eye popped out. This kid eye popped out, right? Literally on the field, man. It was one of those like quick plays, and they boom.
That's why they should be getting paid. That's why the athletes should be getting paid because stuff like that.
I think when it comes to football, it's just I think it's to the point, man, where careers are so short, careers are so short-lived, and your body can break down twice as fast. And it's one of them things where it's like, it's 17 games in a season now, and you added another game, and like careers are short.
Yeah,
careers could be broken down quickly, man. And I think, and it's one of the reasons why, and I'm so hard on NBA players, man, because like I've been out on the hardwood, bro. Like I've been on the blacktop more than hardwood. Like it's a lot of park tournaments in Brooklyn, and I feel like that's the fastest way to end your career as a basketball player on the street.
And
like,
also, that's why like I'm not mad at players, NFL players going for the bag, like Tyreek Hill. Like if you got like that, think about it, Tyreek Hill was going to get that money. Kansas City. I'm not mad at Tyreek Hill. Like get your money, Tyreek, because it's a nasty sport. He even said after his contract he's going to retire. So like I'm never mad at an NFL player for like getting their money because
especially the running back step.
PSP, we talked about AB, bro, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, like I hope he don't have the stuff.
Oh no, he has CTE. I think he has CTE. I have a theory about that.
Like my theory on it is
you talking about Antonio Brown?
Yeah. I think because here's my theory.
Go ahead.
My theory is I think it's him. I'm not saying it's fully the football stuff, but I feel like right after that hit from Vontae Burfict, some things had changed about him, like personality wise. I think he has been a little different. I'm not saying that's not a scapegoat. That's not me giving him an excuse for all the things he's done, but I do think something because like that was a big hit he took, and it's accumulation. And ever since that one, his things been acting different. That's just my theory. That's my one conspiracy theory, you know.
Yeah, so, there are a lot of people who speculated that Antonio Brown has CTE, but we don't really know until we can't confirm it because unless the person is dead. So we can't confirm about that. But and I've said before, Antonio Brown should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh no,
I'm afraid he won't.
Absolutely.
Peak AB. Listen, I'm a Julio fan all day. I still take Julio over Antonio Brown, but Peak AB was different. Peak AB was one of the best receivers I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
Let me read you. Go ahead, Leaf. You want to say something?
Oh yeah. Oh, Dev. What you think about Trevor Lawrence, bro? Like,
man, that's my dog.
So what you got? You you
don't
think he
talk.
could?
Don't talk to Brandon about it. He
Oh
considers him the
yeah.
most
Because
overrated
I know
quarterback currently.
Brandon was lowering the boom on him.
He's
bro.
already
Like,
a top 5 quarter. I mean, not top 5. He's already top 10 quarterback. Let me get out my
I'm about to
propaganda
say.
bag. Let me get out my propaganda bag. I do think he will be a top 5 quarterback, either by the end of the season or by the end of next season. And I think he'll have a better year this year with Calvin Ridley, another year under Doug Peterson. The division's wide open because I don't think Houston's in well, Houston's not in shambles. Houston is still developing. I don't know what's going on in Nashville, and then
They have no. They have
Colts.
Ryan
The Colts.
Tannehill
The
as
Colts.
They don't know what
quarterback.
they're doing in
They have-
Nashville.
And
They
the
don't.
Colts.
Anthony Richardson, who they
Yeah,
drafted.
they really be. I do like the Colts. I do think that the Colts and Jags are going to be the best teams, but I just like Trevor Lawrence smoothness. I like his composure. Like one thing I always like about Trevor Lawrence, he never seems rattled. He never seems worried. Like one big reason, like my dad always said about Ryan, he said like when the lights got brighter, his eyes kind of like pop up. Versus like Trevor Lawrence, he's kind of like stay smooth. He's used to being in big game situations like he was in high school, like here back in Jordan at Cartersville. Number one guy playing in big games, college. He beat Alabama his rookie year. Even this year, we just saw him come up 4 interceptions. So I do like it. I always like his poisonous and his skill for the game, and that's one thing about Trevor Lawrence. He got is a confidence and like him being able to kind of rally the troops in his way. So that's why I'm kind of high on Trevor. I'm high on like players like that, him, Lamar, Josh Allen, Burrow, Mahomes. They kind of have like that little intangible that other quarterbacks don't have, and other quarterbacks below them don't have. Like those couple guys I name, I feel like have that factor that Dak Prescott. Well, Dak Prescott has that factor. He just lacks his skills. That's it.
That's the thing. I mean, Dak, as far as intangibles, he has that.
Yeah, he 100%.
Right. All right, fellas. Let me read a couple of comments right here. I asked in the comment section, is Andrew Luck a Hall of Famer? My thoughts, my opinion, sports podcast. Go check him out. He also does At the Bank podcast. Check him out. He has a podcast live Saturday, 10 a.m. only on the Grid Network, as well as his YouTube channel. Go check him out. He said, Luck don't have enough on his resume to be a Hall of Famer. One of my loyal subscribers, Aquarius Williams, McNabb was booed on draft night. That was true.
He sure was.
Yeah, he sure was. And my thoughts, my opinion, sports podcast. He said McNabb took Philadelphia to multiple NFC championship games. They went to 5 and only advanced to 1 Super Bowl, but didn't win that Super Bowl. But folks, let's talk about a couple of NFL players, and then we'll do a couple more subjects, and we'll wrap on the show. Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Hopkins. Those are 2 of the NFL players that have been released. DeAndre Hopkins has been cut by the Arizona Cardinals. Dalvin Cook has been cut by the Minnesota Vikings. Leaf, which of the teams do you like to see D-Hop and Dalvin Cook play for?
Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, bro, but I know it ain't gonna happen, bro. Like that's just my fantasy of it, bro. But I think as far as scheme goes, if DeAndre Hopkins, I ain't gonna lie, if either one of them even steps near Kansas City, I swear to God, bro, this thing is over. This thing is over before it even starts. We just seen this team.
Sports Talk's loving this.
We just seen this team drop Tyreek Hill and win another damn Super Bowl. I'm just like, hey man, I don't need them nowhere near Kansas City. I really don't need them nowhere near that division. But as far as teams go that fit their scheme, I'm gonna go with Seattle. I'm gonna go with Seattle because I think Geno.
Brandon, you hearing this?
I think Geno is gonna take that next step. I think Geno is the quarterback. He's had quite a year. I think he's gonna he can have a good year afterwards. Finally after the fact. I think Geno would do very well with either one of them, bro. Like I think for both Cook or either Cook or Hopkins, because Hopkins you got a hands guy, and a guy that could go over the top in one-on-one situations, man. And Hop is still a good wide receiver in this league, a great wide receiver, bro. Like Devontae Adams is him on the Raiders. Oh God, Derek Carr couldn't get him off, man. Like oh my goodness, but yeah, but I have to go with Seattle, man. I'm gonna go with Seattle. Be able to go out on a limb, go with Seattle, man. Dev,
All right. Go ahead, Dev.
I think Dev might have stepped off.
No, I'm still here. I'm going with what's it called? I like the obviously the Chiefs to know is a one choice for D Hop, but I think Seattle is another good spot for I agree. Seattle will be a good spot for what's the name? Cook. Seattle, Green Bay for Delvin Cook and for the Hopkins, either Kansas City, New England needs a receiver, or the Packers also. Because I feel like him being a hands guy with Christian Watson as his deep threat guy, and then Romeo Dobbs in the slot, that will help out Jordan Love a lot, especially in his development. So, or Atlanta, just come to Atlanta. Well, we already got Drake London. I don't care.
You already have Drake London. How many more weapons do you need, Dev? I told you that Kyler should be traded to Atlanta.
He was trying to load up the team over there, but like real talk, well, that would help my case for having the Falcons in the NFC Championship game, bro.
Yes, sir.
I think one of the reasons is because I think it's because they schedule, but I think having D Hop and having a Cook anywhere, like realistically, with for a quarterback that likes to get it down the field and get him for more than 15 yards, is going to be a plus because they're going to be used gratefully. They're going to be used in a lot of sets and a lot of formations and a lot of a lot of schemes down the field and a lot of plays. They're going to be, depending on where they go, they're going to be used great. But I like Seattle.
Mm-hmm. So we got Leaf going Seattle and Dev Atlanta.
Of course.
Okay, and what about Dalvin Cook? Where you want to see Dalvin Cook? Because I would like to see him in Miami because of Mike McDaniel running the football.
Actually, yeah, that's perfect spot. I'm gonna copy you, Miami. I can't think of any other team, but Miami does. Is a
Miami, yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Because every team pretty much has a running back, and I think about it, like who else doesn't need Miami or Buffalo? I would say the pair him with his brother.
Listen, right. PSP offensively, I think that'd be something. I think that'd be close to cheating. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like
that's a lot of speed on one team.
That is too much damn speed. Like you listen. Tua don't have to throw the ball more than 25 times a game if that's the case, and then you're gonna run spread. Like you could just run him, do a rollout.
Leave. You cannot use that team in Madden. That's off limits team.
Oh yeah. That's off limits team right there in Madden, bro. Like I don't even play Madden now. I wouldn't like to use that team and play now, bro. Like I'm waiting for NCAA to come out, but that team, that speed, him, Tyreek, Tua, who else? Damn, who else they got?
Jalen Waddle.
Bro. Yo, PSP, bro. Like you need a job in the NFL office, man. Like. You need a job. Go get him.
No, here's why. Because I think Mike McDaniel, who I think has done a good job as a head coach. Remember, he was the offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers under the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. So He likes to establish the run. He likes to establish running football. You look at the job he did as the offensive coordinator for the 49ers with Deebo Samuel. So he comes from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. He works with Tua. Tua and Brian Flores didn't have the greatest relationship in the world. So Brian Flores is departed. Tua was playing well. Had it not been for injuries, he would have made the Pro Bowl that season. And I think Miami would have competed in the playoffs. They would have had a better chance, better opportunity to go to the playoffs. Oh, we got Brandon from the block commenting right now. Yeah. Brandon, I'll send the StreamYard link in the comment section down. I just did right now, but back to Tua. I like Tua. The only knock or concern people have with Tua has been durability. That's the only issue, as well as his arm strength. His arm strength, I'm not really worried about, and especially that he's in Miami where he plays indoors. Although I am concerned about going outside to the Jets, going outside to the Bills, and the Patriots. But Tua has accuracy, pinpoint accuracy. You have Waddle, you have Hill there, you had Dalvin Cook, who, by the way, is from Florida, played at Florida State. So you bring him back home to Florida. But I would like to see him with the Miami Dolphins. It would make the offense more formidable. And more importantly, you don't have to heavily rely on Tua. This is a dude who you drafted with the 5th overall pick in the draft, who's had durability issues, who Brian Flores, it was reported that he wanted Justin Herbert over him. So if you give Dalvin Cook another luxury to the offense, it would do dividends for the organization, for the offense, and especially for Tua, because you want to make sure that Tua is available if you believe he's the guy for you for the foreseeable future, which I believe he can be, just barring injury.
Absolutely. Everything you said was on point. I think I didn't know about that Tua Justin Herbert thing. I didn't know that Buddy wanted Herbert instead of Tua. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, that's kind of interesting to see. I think what Tua went through was kind of unfortunate. It was one of those. It was kind of a basic play, but he just landed wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's one of, like, when anything concussion protocol, bro, you got to take care of it first. But as far as Dalvin Cook at a possible addition to that team, we talking about, man. Like, listen, this is arguably like a mini Kansas City in terms of speed. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
You got speed all over the place, and you got guys that can make plays the second that they get the ball. Boom, they could get you 15 plus yards and break a play wide open. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you really have to run too much, man. If you get that much speed and you get enough space to run them in, basically, like speed kills, and especially in the NFL, still to this day. So I think it's worth a shot.
It's definitely worth
Brandon,
a shot.
I see you, man.
Yeah, he said, yo, man, Brandon, I put in the StreamYard link in the comment section below, man. If you want to hop on. Yeah, I mean, Leaf saying he wants D-Hop to go to Seattle. I mean, add another weapon for Geno. I mean, you got Geno with Jackson Smith-Njigba. I mean, Tyler Lockett's still probably there, but you also have DK Metcalf. You add D-Hop to that mix, that'd be nice for Seattle, though. But I think D-Hop will probably end up in Kansas City. Now, if he goes to Kansas City, that'd be crazy as hell.
Yo, PSP, bro. If he goes there, bro, like I like season, we might as well, like, we gonna be watching. Basically, it's gonna turn into like when it's going to look like the NBA, where you just waiting for the playoffs, man. Like I like, come on, man. Like we at this point where if everything is gonna run through, come on, now we got to think about this. You just got rid of Tyreek Hill. They just won. You gonna give them D-Hop? You gonna give them D-Hop and expect them not to at least march to the AFC Championship game again? Come on, man. Like, listen, I'm through letting the rich get richer. I'm through with that.
Hey, listen, I mean, look, it's nice for him, even though Kansas City is not a great spot in terms of party destination, but they got some good ass barbecue from what I've heard. You got the best quarterback, and it ain't even close, in Patrick Mahomes, and you got a brilliant offensive genius and mastermind in one Andy Reid. And of course, the best tight end in pro football, Travis Kelce. Yeah,
I'm here.
Andy Reid, you know what Andy Reid gonna do?
I'm hearing he might be the best tight end of all time, bro, when it's all said and done. But I mean, hey, I don't know.
It's a conversation, but I still give it to Gronk. I still give it to Gronk. Right. Aquarius Williams, just mail them the Lombardi if they get D-Hop. Dev, we'll see if we can try to get you hop you back onto the podcast. Folks, if y'all want to hop onto the podcast, just feel free, man. But look, I'm telling you this, man, D-Hop should go to any other team where he could put himself in the best position possible for a Super Bowl. Is it about winning a ring, or getting the bag. And if I'm Kansas City, I just lost. Juju Smith is gone now. I still have Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I got this young wide receiver in Rashad Rice who built a rapport with Mahomes. Why not, if I'm D-Hop, go to Kansas City or go to somewhere else? I don't see him going to Buffalo. I don't know if that's going to work out. How's he and Stephon Diggs going to fit? I don't know about that, but I would love to see him in Kansas City. And Dalvin Cook, I would love to see him in that offense. All right, let's talk about a little bit back to the NBA in just a sec. We're not going to talk about NBA. We're just going to talk about Devin Booker, his new shoes. And there's some photos of it right here. These are the Nike Book Ones. And Leaf, what's your thoughts on the shoes, my man?
I like the black ones. They listen. I'm not a real big fan of low tops, like the low mid, like I guess like the low mid to the ankle but that's what the players is wearing today. But I like them black ones. I like the orange ones. They could stay where they at. I ain't really too much of a fan of them, but them black ones, is all right, man. I think those are sneaker for like the new up and coming players, and like the 19, 20-year-olds, they probably gonna wear a lot of those, man. Even though D Book is like in mid-20s, 26 or whatever, but I feel old, bro. Like looking at a pair of these, I'm more of a retro sneaker guy, bro. I'm more of a what's that? 98 Air Max. yeah. I'm like my type of sneakers. I'm more of a Bo Jackson type of guy, bro. Bo Jackson kicks type of guy. Nike Air Turf. The Speed Nike Air Turfs is hard. I want to get a lot of pairs of them because they got a lot of different colors, but these is all right. These black ones is all right. The orange ones, they could go, but the black ones is cool.
All right. And before we got another guest on the panel. My boy, Coach Dante. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. My bad I'm late. I was just finishing off a podcast with my network, so came in quick as I could.
Coach, bro, you missed it. We was talking about Cam Whitmore, bro, and everything. And all the rookies down in Houston. Not to segue away from the D Book thing, but you liking Cam Whitmore down there, bro? Like I like him.
Oh yeah, man. I love him, man. He's been great. He's been awesome. Had a hell of a game yesterday. 8 steals, man. He was.
Oh yeah, I did. Absolutely. I did take a look at that game. He was he was a menace on defense, man. Like he was after it, man. Like I think he's playing with a chip on his shoulder going down to that 20th spot.
Yep.
Knowing that he was arguably supposed to be top 10 had it not been for the injury. I keep telling people, text what the deal is. I keep telling people that the Jet Howard pick kind of messed up the draft a little bit. I think that pick kind of screwed up the draft a little bit, and I think Cam Whitmore would have been higher, as opposed to Jet Howard. But Cam Whitmore, I think he's gonna play as hard as he's gonna play. Hopefully, barring injury, I think he's gonna make up for a lot of ground that he was supposed to make up for in the stock in his draft. Man, I think he don't be surprised if him and Brandon Miller turned out to be something.
Oh man, I mean, I like him. He doesn't need much to work on. I think his dribbling, and I don't mind him taking those jump shots because if you don't have a Jabari Smith in the lineup or Tyrese, and so someone's got to step up, and he's been that guy that's been able to step up for us these last 2 games. And I can see him just being a 3-and-D forward right away, man. That dude defense and that athleticism. Hey, he's ready to break. He's ready.
All right, we got another guest on the show, my man. Context Matters. How you doing, my man?
What's happening, fellas? What's the word? Salute, man. Salute, Leaf. Salute, Coach.
What's good?
PSP. How's it going, brother?
Tex, I'm good,
good,
bro.
Man.
Good, man.
All right. The Context and Coach Dante Case, we'll be discussing about Devin Booker's new shoes. What y'all think about the shoes? Context, I'll let you go first.
Damn. It's going to sound like I'm hating, but I'm not going to hold you. Tomatoes. Boo, 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 boo. I'm not going to hold you. It is not moving me. It is, like, if this is what Nike can do for you, like, it's giving me, like, like skateboarder. Like it doesn't even look like it's a basketball sneaker, to keep it a band with you.
They really don't.
You know what I mean? It gives me like, you know what I mean, like Calabasas, like you just chilling, you know, you hoverboarding, or like you doing like you know what's that joint that it looks like you play hacky sack in those sneakers. Like,
oh
like
yeah,
you just play
oh
hacky
my
sack.
god,
Yeah, like
oh you wild,
it don't look.
you wild, you out of pocket.
You're not supposed to hoop in those.
You out of pocket for that text.
So,
Come on.
I'm gonna have to see it go through the taste. I mean,
you don't like the black ones? I think the black ones is hard, bro. Like the orange ones to go.
It's giving me Tony Hawk vibes. It's giving me Tony Hawk vibes, man.
He said T-Hawk, though.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about those. But
damn sure you ain't feeling it.
Yeah, as far as style, it's not really, it's not making the mark. But you never know. Like, depending on how he hoops in them, right? If he has a great season, it could definitely get some, you know, of the younger kids. I don't think it's gonna get like sneakerhead culture by storm. I don't think it's gonna be one of them sneakers. And speaking of which, and that gives me as a perfect question, I want to ask you guys: how do you guys feel about Kyrie?
Answer.
Happy. I'm happy for him. Look, even though I disagree with the tweet that led to Nike, I don't think Nike should have cut him. I'm all about giving people a second chance, but look, Nike decided to do what they have to do. As for Kyrie, he can move on with this new Anta deal. I'm happy for him. He's getting his money there, and on top of that, with the new deal with the Dallas Mavericks. So I'm happy for Kyrie. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Definitely happy for Kyrie. I honestly thought he was gonna get an Adidas deal. Like that's what somebody was telling me, bro. Like, but apparently that deal didn't go through. But Anta signed a check, man. Like a couple of people went to Anta. I think Kevin Garnett went to Anta, and D Wade went to Anta.
So, he did. D Wade went to Anta.
Yeah. So
if I'm not mistaken, I believe Clay had an. I'm not too sure if he still has it, but I believe he had one.
I think Clay had an Anta. Maybe
Tony Parker. I think Tony Parker had a deal.
Yeah, didn't Steve Nash had one at one point? Steve Nash.
It might have been. I wouldn't be surprised. I also. So for me, my fault, Coach. Go ahead, Coach. My fault.
No, man, like I say, it don't too much move the needle for me, man. So
okay.
Go ahead.
I feel you. Now, actually, and it's funny, like, so I might have to give you some pushback, Coach. I might have to disagree with you. I think this can be a culture shifter. With a smaller brand like this, right? Honestly, I want him to go with the I don't know if you guys are familiar, but the Sia Collective. I don't know if you're familiar with his brand.
Yeah. I know what that is. I know what that is.
The Sia Collective. He had some dope concepts, some dope conceptual shoes where it was like they didn't really look like hoop shoes. They kind of looked like, you know, luxury style shoes, but it gave you the same type of performance. And then also another thing too, I've hooped in Anta sneakers, and they're very comfortable. Like as far as performance, I don't think you're gonna miss the mark at all in terms of performance. Like as far as basketball sneaker, as long as they get the color palettes correct, I think he's gonna be able to get a lot of those AAU kids. He's going to get those moms and those purses and those checkbooks. I think he's going to be able to move a needle. Obviously, his performance is going to help, and I think Dallas has a boxing chance, has a puncher's chance to make a deep playoff run. So that also is going to affect visibility, right? You know, also, and the thing about it is, Kyrie's given creative control, and as you guys know, the more Kyrie had creative control, the better his sneakers looked. The more and more like I saw his input, and he would talk about the input for each series, you would see like, you know, it would get more creative, you know, a little bit more out there, a little bit all over the place. I think he had like a SpongeBob collection at one point. So he knows the market, you know what I mean?
And the Fruity Pebbles too.
There we go. Right. I think he had like a UFO one. Obviously, he had the same thing like Kobe with the Bruce Lee collaboration. And all these things Kyrie is able to implement, you know, things of the culture within his sneaker that kind of gives us a reminder of some stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't think he needs that Nike force, that creative force. I think he has enough of a creative idea to implement the right people to because I think if I'm not mistaken, he's the CCO, so the Chief Creative Officer. So he gets to pick, you know, who's on the design team, things of that nature. So like I said, I think this could be disruptive. obviously it's going to be due to his play on the court, right? How he does well on the court. But I think they're going to be creative. I saw some silhouettes and some colorways that I'm like, wow. You take away the name of it and you just look at the sneaker in itself. It's like, it's not bad. Like, it's not bad as a hoop shoe. I don't know if he can transition that Anta into the casual side, right? The lifestyle side, which he was able to do with the Kyries. He was able to make the Kyries more of a lifestyle sneaker as well too. So we'll see. It's up for debate.
All right. I happy for Kyrie, man. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to his agent as well.
Right.
His agent, who's a black female agent.
Right.
Like I said with Quinn Williams, Nicole Lim, man. Watch what women can do if you give women an opportunity.
That's right.
You never know unless you give them an opportunity. Before we get to moving to the final subject, Dev, I don't know. What's your thoughts about the Devin Book shoes?
Oh, them just kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie. Them just hard. Yeah, I'll wear them. Yeah,
Right. Leaf didn't have a problem. Leaf didn't have a problem with the black ones. It was the orange ones. He was like, "Nah, I ain't messing with." Context wasn't feeling them that much. What do you think about it?
One is pronounced Anta. I don't think it's pronounced Anta. I think it's pronounced Anta. And also,
okay.
Oh, and salute Context, the coach.
Yo, what's happening there?
And I don't mind. Honestly, I feel like depending on the outfit, I don't mind the orange. I feel like you can match it. Like I like the black is hard. The black go hard. I can see why y'all don't like the orange, but I feel like I feel like if you're the right dude, I feel like a dude like Context can make where I feel like Context is dripped out. I don't know why Context can make a Nike Timberland work. I don't know how. I don't know.
All right.
But
all right, fellas. This final subject right here. I mentioned this about Leaf, and he was laughing before we hopped on the podcast. We're gonna stay away from sports. We're gonna actually talk about some women. Which one y'all have to marry? And this is not an easy decision between the two of the women I came up with. Which one you gotta marry between Jada Pinkett Smith or Kim Kardashian? Leaf, I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh man, this is some fuck shit. Oh my god, man.
Wow.
Man, damn.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with Kim, bro. Like, I understand.
Sabotage it, brother.
Well, I understand the Kardashian, but listen, Jada, like she ran a circus on this nigga, man. Like it is what it is, man. I'm not listen. What Kim did, or what Kim supposedly did, is not all her fault. That's mainly her mom's that was behind most of that shit. All right, that was mainly that, man. Like as far as the tape, it's a lot of shit about that tape a lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? But like even still, it still go under scallywag behavior, bro. Like obviously, but look, I gotta go with Kim just off the strength. Jada done ran a circus on this nigga, man. Like Ringling Brothers tip, bro. Like a whole bunch of times, bro. Like with the August Alsina shit and the red table, bro. I'm like, yo, bro, listen. Them set it off residuals is not helping you live the way you living, bro. Stop, yo. Them movies, none of them movie roles that you had in the 90s, Jason Lyric is not helping you live the way you living. You need to stop.
It might be. If you watch Jason Lyric, it might be.
No, yo, bro.
There's some beautiful scenes in Jason Lyric.
Listen, as far as Will's compared to Will's movies, no, hell no.
Oh, yeah. Will's is blockbuster.
No. So yeah, unfortunately, I gotta go with Kim, bro. I wish. Listen, if you would have gave me kill, marry, F, bro, like I probably would have killed. I probably would have been on the killing spree on here, bro. Like I'd have went to jail. But yeah, Kim just out of default, man. I'm sorry, y'all.
I had to get Leaf on that. Coach Dante, your thoughts, man. Who would you marry?
Neither one of them.
You have to pick one.
If I had to pick one, both of them wreck people. Will wreck people, especially Kardashian. She'll wreck a person, man. You talking about wrecking James Harden? You talking about wreck Lamar Odom?
Lamar
Oh
Odom, man.
God.
That's Chloe.
Oh, that was Chloe. Okay. I know. I'm not sure between them, but
I
I'll
don't
take.
think is Kim's list
Well,
really that wild. She got Reggie Bush,
Chris Humphries.
Chris Humphries.
Yuck.
Oh
Yeah.
my! I mean, but is her list really that outlandish? Like it's like that, like compared to like all of them combined, realistically. I guess like I don't know, man. Like I just I just take Kim just to be like yeah.
All right, but coach, if you have to pick one between Jada and Kim, I can't let you off unless you.
No, I already picked. I said Kardashian.
All right, fine. Context.
All right, so for me, this is crazy because there's a lot of
Very
negatives
crazy.
for both. There's a lot of negatives. Like there is really not a lot of positives. So the negatives for Jada Pinkett Smith is now, all right, you got to look at it like this, right? You got to look at it as how do you want to live your life, right? Do you want to have kids, right? Do you want to, are you guys going to be together a lot? You know what I mean? Like, are you able to, like, so for example, right? If you're an actor yourself, would it be more beneficial to be with Jada Pinkett Smith or with Kim Kardashian, right? To me, all right, let me just answer the question. For me, if I can avoid the rest of the family, I'll go with Kim. But I feel like the family comes with her. So I feel like I'm never going to avoid it. And that whole family together, collectively, they're going to put you in the sunken place. You know what I mean? Like, it may not be Kim, but together, like, their tactics might put you in the sunken place. And you're, by default, you're going to end up like Lamar Odom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you may not even have to be with Chloe to end up like Lamar Odom. However, I feel like Jada, just by herself, is a demonic force that can't be controlled. You have no idea what you're gonna get. She is a bipolar, attention craving. Like there's just a lot of red flags with just that one woman. I don't see all the red flags with Kim, but the family has so many red flags. That dynamic has so many red flags. It's like, damn, do I want to like establish a family with this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so if it's like a business thing where you're able to kind of separate yourself from the family and you just go see it from time to time, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to sacrifice your blood. You try to avoid those, you know, family rituals. You know what I mean? Those awkward moments, right? Those family meetings. You be all right. You be all right. You be all right. Just duck your taco, man, because they might, or keep your eyes open, they might steal your blood while you're asleep. That's all I'm saying.
So you taking Kim this off the strong?
Yeah, I'm taking Kim. Now Willow, she might potentially like have my kids trying to like think about what their gender is, like they don't know what's going on. Nah, I can't take that chance. I want my kids to know what their gender is.
I feel like Kim solo by herself is a steady chick, especially now. Jada, that's over.
Yeah, that's over. It's like she's having like midlife crisis over and over and over and over again. Like,
that's over.
That's not good for your mental. That's not good for your mental.
That's a dead issue.
Hello,
that fucks you up. That fucks you up, man. But
am I good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear that.
I'm a little bit too young for both of them. You know, I'm 21. They're both in their 50s, 40s. So I am underage for them.
Underage is crazy.
So they're both old enough to be my mom. So I think that's kind of weird. But if she was one to be my sugar mama, it would be Kim K.
Hey.
So yeah, they both crazy, and they're both not the type of woman.
No love for the Black Queen. Damn.
Hold on.
Tupac is rolling in his grave, fellas.
Listen.
Tupac didn't die for this, fellas. Tupac didn't die for this, coach. Tupac didn't die for this.
You said Tupac didn't die for it, huh?
I love our Black queens, but there's some, there's some exceptions, right? You know, there's like that one, like, you know that one, like, listen, man, like if you would have said her or Angela Bassett, this is a different story. Angela Bassett all day, all day.
She fine though. She fine.
Angela
But
Bassett
context,
old
man.
enough to be your grandma's, bro. Like she old
But
enough to
context,
be.
man, you can't. I let context. I can't. The
I agree
red
with you,
table
Big
talks
Storm.
thing. Like, imagine context. Imagine she just spill your whole business to the world on a podcast, and like, nah, can't do that. Can't do it. Can't go for that, man.
Now I'm with you. Listen. Like I said, I feel like she is more of the sabotager
They
compared
both
to Kim,
sabotagers.
right? But
She's a motherfucking train wrecker.
if I'm trying to keep Black love alive, right? I might have to bite the L. I might have
Hey,
to.
man.
I'm not biting that
respect
L.
you.
I refuse. I'm not biting that, nigga. I will leg drop. I will leg drop the hell
I
out of
gotta do it
that.
for the culture, man. I gotta do it
Nah.
for the culture, man. I gotta do it for the culture.
No. Hell no. It's not funny, bro.
Big Storm. Yeah, that's fact. Willow actually wrote a letter to Tupac, and she wasn't even born at the time when.
That's kind of. Listen, like I said,
That's some weird ass
she
shit.
will. You're gonna have to be a very strong mental person just to deal with, like, the ups and downs. But it's not like that for a lot of people, right? And a lot of times too, I think like a lot of people don't have the idea because they're not in the same spotlight as those people, right? It's a different world that they live in. They're in a different type of bubble. You know what I mean? The stresses of acting, the stresses of being in the public spotlight. You know what I mean? It may make it the idea and the thoughts of what you think is reality. It may be all the way, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all the way out there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I'm just saying we just gotta show our Black queen some love. You know what I'm saying? Tupac did not die for this. He is turning over in his grave. The fact that he heard you guys, nobody chose his Sugar Plum.
You ain't choose him neither, bro. Like,
Nah, that's
and
facts,
for
that's
good
facts.
reason, bro. Like, there's a reason why you didn't, bro. Tupac turned over in his grave once she started that red table.
Tupac will probably get mad at me, right?
Oh man.
Yes. Listen, I'm gonna say this right here. I'm gonna be real, folks. Like 14, 15 years old, I had a huge crush on Kim Kardashian. Fuck it. I think I'm a huge Kim Kardashian. I support Kim Kardashian.
Vulnerability.
If I had a choice to marry between the two, between Jada and Kim, fuck it, I'm taking Kim.
Okay.
Jada, I'm sorry. I've said it. Y'all can go check on my YouTube blogs and shit. I think Jada is a manipulator. Jada is a narcissist. Jada wants to take advantage of people. I feel sorry for Will. And I listened to Earthquake when he was on Club Shay Shay podcast. And it sucks for Will because he's in a relationship with a woman who don't love him. And I feel like that night at the Oscars, and that was some punk ass shit on the part of Will Smith. What he did to Chris Rock was low. If he wanted to handle the situation, I get it. I understand your wife with the alopecia. If she had a problem with it, and if you wanted to handle the situation well, why don't you talk to Chris Rock after the show or during the commercial break and told him, look, man, I know you're a comedian and I know you've had jokes about my wife before. Remember the 2016 Oscars when Will and Jada chose not to show up and then Chris Rock made the joke. Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. And before, I was a big Jada fan as far as with an actress and shit, but after watching her on the Red Table Talk, man, she is, to use the word trifling would be an enormous understatement. This woman is insane. I mean, she admitted that she never wanted to marry Will. Let's keep it $100. She admitted she never wanted to marry Will. She revealed that she had an entanglement with their son's friend. And she said she wanted to help him with his mental health. Wow, I didn't know fucking your son's best friend would actually be a great way to help him get mental health. I mean, shit, man. And then this woman is a fucking narcissist. I mean, she got Willow writing a letter to Tupac.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Willow wasn't even born until 2001, 2002. Pac died in 96. So of course it's coming from Jada or whoever. And I feel sorry for Will, man, because at some point in time, When is enough enough? This woman humiliates you. She says you're awful in bed. She embarrasses you. She embarrasses the family. She even Jaden Smith admitted that Jada tried to get him to use psychedelics. So I don't understand. I mean, this motherfucker crazy. And I told women out there, y'all think that's a good ass woman? Y'all don't know shit. This woman is trifling. This woman is sick. This woman is conniving, manipulating. I mean, Kim, on the other hand, you can say whatever you want about the family, and you can say whatever you want about the fake ass and tits and shit.
Right.
Kim is more of a stronger woman than Jada because she dealt with Kanye shit. Now, Kanye, look, people can say that's on the Kardashian family. I think Kim did a lot more shit for Kanye than the other way around.
I would go to say that, Mer. Like,
wait, whoa, hold on.
No. I'm gonna co-sign this. Hold up. Wait. I'm gonna co-sign this, bro, because
how? Wait. Hold on, fellas. Hold on.
Well,
let me set the table first. Before you guys do that, now I just want to if we're gonna have the conversation, because I was entertaining it until PSP jumped out the window. So you guys are telling me that during the point in which Kanye was where he was at, you got to remember who she was just dealing with. She was just dealing with Chris Humphries.
72 days.
Leaf, do you know where Chris Humphries is right now? PSP, do you know where Chris Humphries is right now?
I have no idea.
No, I have no idea. But
I don't even know if he's alive.
Bro, but that's more probably because of her family than her, bro. Like, come on, bro. We know that. Like, we seen what happened to Lamar Odom. Come on, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, but for so here's my thing, PSP. I think is a great. That's actually a great topic. I don't know if you guys want to dive into. It's kind of like a case study, right?
Okay.
The benefits of being in that public light, right? The trade-offs that you have to deal with, right? So where Kanye was at, he was at this glass ceiling where he was at the top of the urban demographic, right? In terms of like style, influence, things of that nature, right? And then he's on the precipice of trying to go into mainstream, which is your what's that show? Ellen DeGeneres, Kmart, JC Penney. Like he wants to be in Gap, right? Sealing the deal with that. So to me, I understand what you guys are saying. I feel like to a certain extent, they kind of was able to facilitate those avenues, fam, like the home shopping network, that kind of demographic. Yeah, I could see that. But I think what Kanye West, in terms of culture, what has done that for their family has been 4 times that. I think because of of Kanye West's relevancy, his accolades and things of that nature, I think that grew that family's brand 100%. 100%. Because
I mean, I think that's kind of not to cut you off, concept.
Yeah,
that's kind of a part of it. But I think they was well on the up and up kind of before that. You know what I'm saying? Like what they show and what everything that they was doing.
Well,
bro.
they were
they
were famous. Well, Leaf, they were famous long before the reality show. They were famous because remember their father. Their father was best friends with OJ, the OJ Simpson shot, the OJ trial.
Yeah.
But back to Kim, man. I mean, Kim. Look, y'all can say whatever you want about the Kardashian family. Jada Pinkett is much worse. I don't think Jada Pinkett Smith actually gives a damn about anybody but herself. She treats her husband like shit. She's manipulated him, their kids, and I feel like Jada is jealous. Jada is jealous of Will because, as you mentioned, Context and Leaf, the Set It Off movies, all the other movies that she's done is nowhere equal to Will's. None.
No.
Right.
No, Will Smith is worth $350 million. People still to this day are still gonna watch Will Smith movies. Jada, when's the last time you ever heard Jada about a movie or anything?
Right.
And I think with Kim, go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say Matrix or something, bro. But like some of the best movies that she played in was in the 90s. Jason Lyric,
Yeah.
Set It
Jason
Off, those type of
Jason Lyric
movies.
Set It Off, Menace to Society.
Yeah, those type of movies. But my
But
thing
ever
is
since
like,
that, we haven't heard shit about Jada.
yeah, and I think, and the thing that we missing with Kim, well, listen, the whole during the Kanye shit, Kim actually turned herself into somewhat of a stand-up woman. She got into politics, all that shit, bro. Like she was trying to get niggas out of jail. Like, yo, Kim did a lot. Yeah, Kim did a lot of shit.
And
like
Kim
that.
is actually smart though.
Yeah. Kim did a lot of shit outside of like all the shit that we known her family for. You know what I'm saying? Or we like her family rose to communists for. But I think, listen, that was more her family combined with a lot of the situations that happened within those relationships than it was whatchamacallit, because I don't see Kylie gonna do nothing with Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the most safest nigga like that in that interjected himself into that family. So my thing is, I like my chances, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? At this point, you know, like with Kim, I do not like my chances with Jada. I fear for my life with Jada.
Well,
Jada.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. Like I said, like if you can avoid the family, right? If you can avoid the Kardashian family and whatever type of meetings, business meetings, whatever type of meetings they're having, you should be in a safe space, right? You're not gonna end up like Lamar Odom. However, there is a chance. What happens is, the more integrated you become in that family, the more and more you could end up like Lamar Odom, all those other guys that fell into the rabbit hole. But the thing about it is, the reason why I was saying like I feel like it's more of a cause and effect was due to the fact that I feel like you never know behind the scenes. It's kind of like what they reveal to us, right? People don't just start bugging out for no reason, right? There was a multitude of things with Kanye that happened, but I feel like she didn't make it better. I think she kind of baited him into certain situations and then played the victim, or I have no idea what's going on with this guy. You know what I mean? And it could be that, it could be the fact that, he's a traveling artist. She may not see him as frequently as she is, so she probably doesn't have a real pulse on him. But it came across as she was baiting him into certain things in terms of his mental issues, or she would be aware of what he's dealing with. And in the background, probably trying to be supportive, but then in the public eye, play these like mental games and things like that. Because, he would have these Twitter rants and things like that, and of things talking about his family, and like, he doesn't get to see the kids. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure she may be doing those passive aggressive things in the back that's causing him to have these outbreaks. You get what I'm saying? So I like you guys said, it's more in the public eye that Jada has publicly humiliated him. However, the private ones is even worse, because Kanye might be trying to hold it down to save face for himself, and she could probably be like manipulative and narcissistic, but doing it in the way that it's very passive aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, it's not in your face. You know what I mean? You got to read between the lines, and if you're insecure, it may drive you nuts. And Kanye is definitely an insecure person, so it might have driven him nuts.
I think in the Kanye shit, and I'm a conspiracy person, bro, for real, and this conspiracy gonna fuck y'all head up, bro. Like, yo, the night that she got robbed in Paris, right? She talked about like, yo, when she was sitting at a table, it was her, Kanye, whole bunch of people. It was like, yo, somebody, and one of their friends asked her, yo, what would you do if somebody like came up to you, try to rob, say, give me all your stuff right now? This was the same night.
Right.
This is the same night. She talked about that story, and then she was like, I don't know. I'm like, I never had that happen or whatever. That night, when that happened, I think Kanye set that shit up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he set that shit up. I think Kanye set that
all
up.
I know for sure.
I think that, yeah. Go ahead, please.
All I know for sure is this, folks. Kanye, look, he hasn't been the same since, God rest his soul, his mom passed away.
Yeah, mom passed away.
And yeah, that definitely played a huge role for all the things that has transpired in his life. Kim, from what I've heard, I heard that she tried to get him to see a psychiatrist or a doctor or somebody just for Kanye to talk to. Kanye didn't want to do that because he felt like Kim was trying to set him up for a mental clinic, and that wasn't the case. And plus, I also heard that Kanye just didn't want to take his medication because he felt like that would compromise his music and as far as his creativity.
Right.
Kim, I don't think Kim is all that bad, what people say. Only thing I agree with Kanye is that I don't like the daughter on TikTok. I don't
Right.
like that on TikTok because I think that just sets the daughter up for a lot of horrible, sick people on
Yes.
social media and
That's
stuff.
what I meant by
don't want-
debating.
Yeah.
So PSP, that's what I was saying. Like, so situations like that is an example of like you are well aware of where he stands on that, right? It's not like he told you one thing and meant another. He told you about it. He let you know what was going on. He told you why he doesn't feel like it's comfortable, and then you then turn and double down and try to make it a thing about control, make it a thing about, you know what I mean, like just being unreasonable. When the truth is, you know what I mean, like her. Like not only her consumption of the internet, but her being on the internet, you know what I mean? Like in a possible way that could be just used for, you know what I mean? Perversion. Like you never know what could happen. Like the internet is undefeated. And when it wants to get its grips on you and start churning and make it, yeah, man, you can't stop it. So I'm with Kanye for that. And I think also PSP that plays a part into what I meant by she does things passive aggressively. But you never know. You don't know how people run their household. You don't know how people
Right. We'll never know. That's just speculation. But one thing we know about Jada, how she runs her household.
Right.
I mean,
Let's think about this fact for a fact. Here's what we know for a fact. She's video recording a conversation of her and Will without Will's knowledge. And Will said, first of all, don't just film me without letting me know. I'm in my house. I mean, my social media is my bread and butter, so you can't use that.
Right.
This just tells you how sick she is, man. This woman don't love this man. This woman is just craving for attention.
Right.
Yeah. You keep that shit to yourself. And the other problem I have with Jada was that bullshit statement that she made after the Oscars. This is a season of healing, and I'm here for it. Like exactly what are you trying to make? You trying to make yourself the victim? The only victim was Chris Rock.
Right.
He got smacked in the face.
Right.
And if you felt
August
like
Alsina was a victim too.
Yeah, we know that. And not only that, though, and not only that, if you are Jada, and if you say, well, I don't need my man to protect me, I don't need my man to do what he did, well, why the hell you allowed it to happen? And there's video of Jada saying, I don't really give a shit about my alopecia. Why did that affected you? And why did you not stop your husband?
As you saw him getting up.
Right. If you love him, you wouldn't have allowed that to happen. Still, that doesn't excuse what Will did, though. Will was wrong for what he did. I don't think he deserves a 10-year sentence. That's a story for another day. But
what
you're
made that
Jada,
bad is that Denzel had to like calm that situation.
No, Denzel,
and
Tyler
and
Perry
he knew
had
what
to
was going to
calm
happen.
Will's ass down.
Yeah, they all knew
They
what was going to
tried to
happen,
call.
bro. Like,
They tried to calm Will Smith down. Damn it! Why not Jada? That's his wife.
Right.
that's his wife. Yeah,
Right.
but listen, I look. I'll tell you this: the Keke Palmer situation ain't got nothing on what Jada did, bro. Like, listen. Hey, yo, Tex, no bullshit, bro. I think we talked about that on Bobby page, and I'll be honest with you. I just come to the conclusion she just ain't had no respect for Buddy, bro. Like, look, you look at him. She was walking ahead of him while he carrying the baby and shit, man, into the joint and everything. And listen, she ain't got no respect for Buddy, but like that's all that was, bro. Like, but listen, that is borderline headed towards the direction of Jada than it is the direction of Kim to me. And my point, like, I think
all I'm
Kim,
gonna say is with the Keke situation. Look, although I don't like the outfit, but at the same time, that's her choice. I can't tell a woman what to do with her body. And if you her man, why would you air out your shit on social media?
Yeah,
you keep that conversation between yourself.
You gotta air to her. Yeah. So he was in the
You
wrong for that.
He looks crazy.
I think
venting out on Twitter. That's not the place for it.
it's
or
not.
wherever he did it on social media, whatever, any form of social media. The thing about it is that if you like PSP said, like, who am I? I cannot tell. You know, here's the thing about it. There's just certain things I feel like, you know, whether you are with the person you working on to be in a relationship, there's kind of certain things that, you know, shouldn't have to be said. It's kind of a mutual respect thing, right? If the person knows you and they knows about your morals, they know your moral compass, they know, you know, certain things, certain lines not to cross, you know what I mean? Eventually they'll know, like, all right, I can't do this, or he won't approve of this, or now the thing about it is I kind of fault him, like, yo, why you didn't go to the spot? Like, to me, I mean, even maybe if she says, yo, I just want to be with the girls, yo, I'm not gonna, all right, cool, you could be with the girls, but like, to me, if it's for your birthday, like, why am I not going with my girl so
Right.
she can enjoy this experience together? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't
It
know.
was to me, it seemed like one of those, bro. Like, oh yeah, you got to stay with the kid tonight, bro. Like, and a lot of women pull that,
tough.
and
that's
a lot
tough.
of women pull that shit, bro. I
Stay
I
at home
personally
dad is
seen
crazy.
niggas, I personally seen women try to continue their nightlife, bro, after they done had kids and kids at home.
Right.
They supposed to be with family, bro. Like, that's the worst thing as a man. That you like, you allow yourself to go through that shit, bro. But listen, hey. That's some crazy. I don't like talking about these scallywag ass bitches, bro. Like, part my language, bro. Like, but like, you know,
it's a the thing about it is it's very tough to put your like, it's hard to put our own moral compass.
Advice, but that's a story for another day.
Right.
It is. A moral compass that we try to put on these women and the behavior that they display.
Right.
It's more so why the gender wars is the way it is right now. You know what I'm saying? And I call it the gender wars. And one of the thing is, I'm real, like, listen, it's a lot of chicks, bro, like, I ain't had a shot at, but just seeing the way that they orchestrate and the way they behave, I'll be like, yo, I can't mess with you for too long. I might have one shot at you, but like, after that, I got to go. Because you ain't right, bro. You are very unstable. One thing about it, no dude today wants the unstable woman. The way the internet is, man, and the way it could, like, women get starstruck by the internet. They get starstruck by Instagram and Twitter and everything they see on there, bro. Like, so you got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
I wanted to,
but like I said, folks, man, I'd rather take Kim any day of the week.
Yep, for sure. I'm with you.
I gotta take Kim.
All right, bet. No. I just wanted to propose this idea. First, I have a question for y'all, and then after that, I'll propose the idea. The question I do have is, who do you guys feel like is going to eventually be the better player? Well, who you think is the better player now, and who you think is going to be the better player? Between SGA and Ant Edwards, who you think is the better player now, and then who you think will be the better player?
I'm gonna go
right
with
now.
Ant.
It's SGA. Right now. Right now?
Yeah, right now.
I think.
I take SGA, but
I think SGA had a better year. I think SGA had a better year, but I think Ant still has more upside. I think SGA, he could be figured out as a number one easily before Ant can, bro. I think once Ant start adding a lot of layers and stuff to his game, and a lot of unhiddens, bro, like, he's gonna realize his upside is gonna take over more so, and then the skill set is gonna be able to add on to that once he start mastering a lot of things. But I think Shai's game is the way it is, and that's the way it's gonna remain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really see it really changing. He might add maybe a couple of moves, a couple of counters here and there. He's a very crafty player, but I think I see SGA going in the same direction as like a sort of a free throw merchant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to put that on him, but he had a great year. I just don't think he is as high as everybody likes to post him up to be. You know what I'm saying? I think he's really for the youngins that we talk to and everything, and a lot of them like to praise him in a top 5 guard conversation. Just based off the year that he had, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
All right.
I'll go with Ant.
Context. You want to weigh in?
Yeah. Oh, you So for Brandon, you wanna? I don't know if Brandon was Brandon. You in it?
Yo,
what's the word? Brandon. I'll go last. PSP. Brandon. Who do you think is the better player right now, and who do you think has the potential to be better between SGA and Ant?
Oh, that's a good one. Dang. That's a good one. I think SGA is the better player right now.
Okay.
I think in the near future though, Ant's going to be the best. The only reasons why I'll say SGA right now is because in Minnesota, freaking cat in the way, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, freaking cat in the way, and I think and it's losing some of Ant's potential because I think Ant. I'm not gonna hold you. I think Ant can be a future top 10 player in the league.
Easily.
Yeah. So
I think
right
SGA is
now,
the better
give me
player,
SGA,
but
though.
Ant has the higher ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm with you guys. I'm in the same way. I feel like SGA is a little bit better right now, a little bit more polished. I think he understands his game a little bit more while Ant is learning his game to a certain extent, right? I think finding out where his spots is gonna be at consistently. I think he has it, but it's still a little bit scattered. You know what I mean? So I'm with you guys. I think he can finish under the rim, over the top. And he's scratching the surface in his counters. You know what I mean? I think SGA, there's
And
a
plus,
cap.
he's the better defender than SGA.
100%, for sure. And then the second question I have for you guys was, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about OKC making a push to trade for Damian Lillard? I'll set the table for you guys before you want to answer the question. I think that they would have to include another team if Portland wants some players, because I feel like OKC isn't in a rush to give up any players because they have so many draft picks. So I would say besides Miami and Milwaukee, I think OKC has enough incentive with another team to obviously make the contracts work. I think OKC can lose a lot of draft picks, but still be able to maintain their roster and still have a crazy starting lineup of Dame, SGA, Dort, Jalen Williams, and Holmgren at the 5, with Giddey coming off the bench. So what do you guys think about that?
There's no way, and I mean no way. Listen, if Portland ain't get rid of him now, that means they looking for the heights that we got for Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Basically, they looking for at least minimal pieces or multiple pieces that could either be constructive to a new brand, a faster, younger, rebranded team. So even though and the crazy thing about it, Portland, with the roster that they got now, without you just take Dame out, they still got a competent roster with Anthony Simons and a competent future with Anthony Simons and whatchamacallit and Scoot and a backcourt. It's just that they want more just because Dame just playing this game with them right now, trying to play games with them. So I think I personally don't think that they would want to trade in the division because OKC is a division rival team anyway. That's one. Two, I don't think nothing is going through Portland's watch without them getting somebody that they like for it, like a Josh Giddey. There's no way they not taking this deal or they not sending him over there without sending Josh Giddey on your like, hey, yo, y'all want Dame? Send Josh Giddey on your way. It's just that simple. Oh, no? Fuck you. All right, next. And that's what type of time that they on, bro. Like, and I like it for Portland. So I don't think it could work just in terms of Portland. Portland is trying to see what type of heights, what the best possible deal that they could get for Dame. That's what it is. And if they don't see it fit for them, they ain't fucking with it. It's just that simple.
I'll tell you this though, they got the picks for him. They got a lot of picks. They got a lot of picks for to get for Dame. Yeah, so
yeah.
You could probably put Dame as the point guard, Shea as the 2. I don't know what else they'll give up though. Besides the picks.
Right.
Would
so
you give up
to
Jalen
me,
McDaniels?
Yeah. That's what I would say. Like, to me, I feel like they could give up one of either McDaniels or they could give one of the William guys, like maybe the one with the I forgot what I think Kendrick Williams. They could give up one of that Williams, and they could probably keep both of the Jalen Williams. And like I said, it could be a 2-team
They still got
deal.
Dort.
Yeah, they
There's
still got
no
Dort.
way
They still
that
got
they're
Dort.
keeping all of that plus Giddy, bro. No.
So no. I didn't say they'd keep him. I said they could give up those. They could give up one of the William guys. They can't. So my thing is if push comes to shove, you would give up Giddy, which is like that's cool. I wouldn't. I don't think you're gonna lose that much with losing Giddy. I think OKC would take that risk. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think the picks would move Portland, to be honest with you. I think they have so many picks that it can make it, because think about it, right? Portland already has their starting 1, their starting 2, their starting 3, and now let's think about it, right? Their starting 2, it could potentially, like Anthony Simons could potentially turn into their 6-man. He could either stay their starting 2 or be their 6-man. So
Right.
I think Portland is not they're not feeding for a lot of players. I think they want to get the contract thing. I think they're more worried about the money and to get just assets. And I don't think it necessarily has to be players. That is like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they'll get away with the picks. If they include a third team and use the third team as like a buffer to add players, to make the contract work. Yeah.
But I wouldn't rule that out. I wouldn't rule that OKC out, given the fact that they can offer mad picks. And then on top of that, I don't know if they're gonna give up Giddy. Maybe more McDaniels though.
Right. I think so too. I think they would give up McDaniels, just because he has the defense, things of that, and he's a better switchable player. I don't see how. I mean, Giddy can work for the team. It would actually unleash a lot of the backdoor cuts and the athleticism for that team. So I wouldn't mind seeing Giddy on that team, to be honest with you. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing, but I think that would be the only thing comes to shove. They would ask for Giddy, which I don't think OKC would have a problem with. I mean,
if Portland get Josh Giddy, bro, they are going to the playoffs. They're going to the playoffs. If they keep most of that roster intact and just add Josh Giddy and just drop Dame, they're going to the playoffs.
But then OKC is going to be what? A top 4 seed?
OKC, it depends. It really depends on Dame's health, because, like, be honest with you, bro. Like, SGA just had his best season, but he really had it as a lead guard because a lot of opportunities and as a lead guard, basically playing the 1. You put him back at the 2 to basically play off of Dame, and then Dame's health is not holding up, and then he goes back to that 1 spot. Now you're basically struggling for wins, and you don't have Giddy as just your primary playmaker, and now SGA is. Then what?
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. You could definitely there'll be some holes within the offense if Dame doesn't hold up. But that's the thing about that team. That team is very young and athletic. I think Dame would get off the pill. I think it would force him to change his play style, right? I don't think he would be the same Dame. Yo, everybody 1-4 flat. We're gonna spam pick and roll with me, and I'm gonna get you guys open. I think it would be half brain. Like you would have a half a brain if you're gonna see that you got all this talent around you and you still are being stubborn as a basketball player. You know what I mean? In your shot diet, in your basketball profile, you're gonna have to change it. You know what I mean? Playing a little bit more off ball to allow SGA to cook on the inside. Because to me, you have a bigger CJ McCollum. You know what I mean? A guy that's crafty, very crafty, not athletic, but he gets at least 11 free throws a game. So, I mean, that stoppage of play, those contrasting styles, I think it will be very, very, very interesting. For sure.
All right.
For sure.
Yep. All right, fellas. I got to ask Brandon this question. Brandon, I don't know if you actually saw the pod, but I asked Context, Leaf, Dev, and Coach Dante, which one would you rather marry between Jada Pinkett Smith or Kim Kardashian?
Kim Kardashian or who?
Or Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada Pinkett. Oh, I gotta see a picture of her. Hold on.
You want me to show you the picture?
Yo,
go ahead.
He said I gotta see a picture of her.
Oh, brother.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, give me the Kardashian.
Sheesh. Yeah, that alopecia is scared Brandon just now.
Yeah, give me the Kardashian. Yep, give me the Kardashian. She
He ain't
clear.
feeling,
All right.
yo, PSP, he ain't feeling G.I. Jane, man. He ain't feeling G.I. Jane.
I ain't feeling G.I.
That's why
Jane
Will
neither,
Smith
man.
walked on stage and smacked the shit out of Chris Rock, and that was a punk ass move on his part.
Right. Oh,
Well, anyway,
I just,
Nothing
oh,
go
clear.
ahead, context.
I
What's
just,
his name?
No, go
though?
ahead, context. Go ahead, context.
Yeah, I saw the the chat that just posted up. I want to talk about it just real quick. We don't got to make it long because I know you want to get up out of here. The Team USA.
Right.
A lot of people aren't really that high on them. The way they're currently constructed, the FIBA team, obviously,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they're gonna have way more players. But I think it's gonna. They might surprise some people. I think that with the ability, they have
Team
guys.
Canada is loaded, bro.
Listen, it's loaded, but Team USA has a lot of high IQ players. That's all I'm saying. I think that when you get them in that type of competitive mode, you know what I mean? They're battling the best players, and let's face it. Although Canada is a good team, you got to always remember the best brand of basketball in terms of athlete and skill set is still Team USA. So them going against each other and competing against each other, they are their own downfall. Let's always remember that, fellas. There is no team that if it's 100, everybody's at 100 that you're gonna bet against is the USA team. Everybody's like mentally, physically, all at 100. You got to ride with Team USA.
I think that was something in the past, bro. Like as far as today's goes, bro, the world has officially caught up. I want you to take a good look at that Team Canada roster and tell me for a shadow of a doubt that they do not match up with anybody in FIBA. Tell me that, bro. Please tell me. I need a valid excuse as to why that is, bro. Because I looked at that roster. That roster is loaded. Loaded. I forgot the National Player of the Year who they told to go back to school is a Canadian. I totally forgot that. I'm like, yo, bro.
That's fair. That's fair. But like I said, the thing about it is that the talent gap is still there, though. Like for me, like the athletic, as far as athleticism, being able to be now. The thing about it is FIBA rules are completely different, right? The pace kind of changes with the rules, things of that nature. I see that, but I think once the NBA guys get used to that, after a couple of games and they get their win of them, the talent is too like to me. I feel like Tyrese Halliburton is probably the perfect point guard to play in FIBA rules. I think he's going to get the guys into their sets. I think they're going to have to rely on him to move the ball around. I don't think there's going to be a lot of ISO, and they have enough athletes where you can't really, I don't know, man. Once that team gets on fast break, who's stopping that team? I don't think Canada.
I ain't gonna lie. With Tyrese Halliburton, that I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like that
you know what I mean? Like the thing, yeah.
That might be the deal breaker.
When they get locked in defensively and they're able to create turnovers, and I think they're gonna start doing like diamond presses, 2-1-2 presses, things like that. And get on the fast break, man. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a landslide. But I agree with you guys. I think the world has definitely caught up to the USA team.
Right. Oh, Brandon, before we end this off, man, Devin Booker with his new shoes. What you think?
Oh, they ain't bad. They ain't bad. I like them. As a matter of fact, I might like them more than the Tatums.
Wow. The Tatum, bro.
I might like them more than the Tatums.
I probably should on the Tatums as well.
Oh, stop it. Well, you think he's Scottie Pippen anyway, but
I know he's Scottie Pippen.
All
Wow.
right, fellas, we can have a conversation for another day. Dub's podcast is on. Go check that out. Fellas, that concludes the end of Sports PSP. Want to thank a lot of the people hopping on. Brendan from the block, Context Matters, Leaf. We got Dev, Coach Dante. Fellas, any final words?
Yep.
And where to follow y'all at?
Where to follow me at Instagram, that's Leaf_4788. Twitter, Leaf4788. YouTube, Leaf4788. Yeah, that's about it, man. I'm gonna raise hell tomorrow on the Chill with Chill show. If I see his old dusty ass on, bro, like I'm gonna grab him with one hand and beat him with the other. So to be there for that.
Context.
I'm still working on my socials. I'm finna get activated. Y'all gonna see me around though. I'm always around the block or at your mother's house, so you can find me there if y'all looking for me.
That is so crazy.
Brandon
Hey,
from the block,
You out
man. Where
of
to find
pocket,
you at, man?
bro. You out of pocket.
Follow me on Instagram bband923, on TikTok bband923. Follow me on YouTube, Brandon from the block. Got my own show there called The Throwdown. PSP be there, Leaf be there. Contest, if you want to be on, you can too, man. We talk about football, basketball, all of that. Last show was crazy. It was elite. So yeah.
I gotta
That's
get on
because
that show because I
that's
got a
because of
murder
Prince,
buddy.
dumbass.
That's the casual. Yeah.
I
I
need
got
to
a murder.
definitely tap in for sure.
I got a
Brandon.
murder buddy that's the casual on your show, bro. Like, listen, he
Jay?
talking about Jokic didn't have no effect on the series. And
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
you
PSP
saw my short?
was on them too.
I'm like, what?
Yes.
What are you talking about? This dude put up 30, 20, and 10 on AD.
He's a Jokic hater. He's a Jokic hater.
Yeah,
He
you
think-
gotta,
Jokic
you gotta,
hater, but
you gotta
he-
get out. You gotta get the hate out your heart, man. You gotta get.
Yeah,
the
he
that's
thinks,
just too much LeBron love. That's all that is, bro. Like,
he
that's
thinks
what
Jokic's kind of lazy and stuff. That's really it. He
He
thinks he's
also
lazy.
thinks Jokic is boring to watch.
Yeah, that's all. That's what it is.
But if you check Brandon from the Blocks podcast, folks, man, if you check his podcast, great content. Trent said some crazy shit. First of all, he said Mike Evans is not a top 20 receiver in the NFL.
Wow.
Wait, he said he's not top 20?
Yes,
Yeah, he
not
said he's
top
not
20.
top 20.
Listen,
He said,
hey, hold up, Brandon. Y'all had a short of if Mike Williams was a top 35? I think
yeah. He said top 35, top 50. One of them.
Top 15 or top 25 for Mike Williams, because Mike Williams, who was, if I'm not mistaken, was he hurt last year?
He was.
For the Chargers, bro. And
him and Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
Him
Mike
and Keenan
Evans.
Allen.
There's
Damn,
no
Mike
way.
Evans.
There's
Mike
no
Evans
way.
with the
Mike Evans top 20.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He thinks
He also said
go ahead.
Yeah, he also said that Devontae Adams is a top 2 route runner of all time. He said
all time. No way.
Devontae Adams is a hell of a route runner, bro. Like probably
but top
even
2
better.
though?
Top 2, probably. I give him top 5, top 10.
PSP, didn't he have him over Jerry Rice?
No way.
I don't remember that. I don't recall him saying.
Okay, all right. Put it like this: in terms of coming off the,
he also said Joe Burrow's the most overrated playoff quarterback as well.
Yeah. He said that too.
I'm gonna speak on the Devontae Adams shit for a minute. In terms of his release coming off the, like, as soon as the play starts, I'm telling you, listen, Devontae Adams is up there. If you can think of players, and we know a lot of wide receivers with that type of release and then footwork coming off the way he can get himself open. The hell with what Derek Carr did, bro. Like, listen, we just talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, Devontae, bro. Listen,
who's a better route runner, Michael Thomas, or Devontae Adams?
Oh, Devontae clears.
Devontae
clears.
Yeah,
Devontae clears.
But
from start to finish, Devontae clears. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was more talking about, because
we're gonna end up going into another one. I don't even want to go. This is
we don't want to go there. Come on, we don't want to go there. But folks, just go check out the podcast. Trent says some crazy shit. Love Trent, but as Dub always says, Trent, don't listen. Fellas, thanks for hopping on with the podcast. As you all know, folks, the Sports PSP podcast, I'll come up with a next episode probably on Friday or Saturday night. So we're going to talk about some more NFL, NBA stuff. And also, please like and subscribe to each and every one of the panels, content or podcasts or whatever the case may be. Go like and subscribe. They put out great content. And as always, folks, if you want to hop on the Sports PSP podcast, I'll always put the StreamYard link on the comment section below. Go like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and go follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and much more. And for that, we is out.
Salute.
Peace.
Peace.